Happens to me every stream, you guys, pretty much. Hello, happy Wednesday. I almost said happy Friday, because normally you only see me on Fridays, this face, hello right here. Welcome to the premiere of Mistlost. Yay, we're finally here. We're finally doing the thing. Hopefully the sound is good. Everybody at home, please let us know if we sound okay. I spent an entire week setting up OBS, so it better not betray me right now. Whoop whoop. All our friends can confirm it happens every stream. It really does. Almost every stream. 9 times out of 10. Sounds awesome so far. Okay, great. Let's get right into the introductions before I get sidetracked, because you all know that I do. We're going to start with our lovely players here, a lovely cast. We're going to start with the top left of what you see on the screen here. So that would be Alyssa.
Hi y'all, I'm Alyssa, pronouns they, them, and I will be playing Revelation, the Aasimar Circle of Stars druid who uses they, she pronouns.
Woo. Hi guys, I'm Mariana. I'm also going as, I go by Lagrimosa. I'm going to be playing Nikita, the Wood Elf Barbarian, who also goes by she, her pronouns.
Next up is Victor.
Hello everybody, my name is Victor. I use they, he, and they pronouns, and I will be playing your Tabaxi rogue, Sinarch, nicknamed Sin, who uses they and he pronouns. And I'll pass it to Charmy.
Hello, I'm Charmy, or Captain Charmy, and I will be playing Aurora, the Fire Genasi sorcerer, and we both go by she, her pronouns.
Next up, it's Aki.
Hello. I'm sorry, I got very lost in the music and was low-key throwing it back. I'm Aki, or Akino. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Dayu Silverhair, who also uses she, her pronouns. Yeah. I think that's it.
And last but not least, hello, I'm your Dungeon Master this evening, and every Wednesday, well, almost every Wednesday, 3 Wednesdays, and then 1 Wednesday off, and Friday evening. I really gotta work on changing my intro now that it's not just Fridays. I'm Andy, I use she, they pronouns, and I am your Dungeon Master this evening. I write for TTRPGs, I'm an artist, I do all the things and all the stuff. All the art that you see here on stream is mine. And yeah, things and stuff. So let's hop right into it, because I don't like talking about myself. Music change. We're doing it. Let's go, you guys. It's time to get started. We come upon a misty Okurai night. Well, it's always misty here. Thin, wispy vapors trail and creep over every mossy, cobbled street and around each corner. Little do the sleeping citizens know that the stars have aligned this night. Little do they know a great adventure is about to begin. And this, dear friends, is where the quill is set to paper. This is where our story starts. We're gonna start with Sinarch tonight. Sinarch, my friend.
Yes.
You are always one for mischief. Always one for slinking about through the night, the eternal night of the Veil of Night.
Oh yeah, I was born here. I haven't ever gone to the lands outside of the Veil, so this is the place where I feel the most comfortable.
And tonight you are instructing the local lantern lighters, is that correct?
Oh, yes. I used to be a lantern lighter myself. You know, it's really important to make sure that our place is the Vale, which is the best home ever, is accessible to those who might not be as as lucky to have dark vision like me. And I have a specifically wonderful idea for these young lantern lighters.
Oh. Love to hear that.
Yes, pretty much Sin's idea is to make people who are superstitious believe that there is an ill omen by lighting all the lanterns with boron to make a green flame instead of a regular flame that people might be used to.
So let's introduce the lantern lighters that you are educating on this fine evening. Your compatriots are Tani Satsumi, who is a Calico Tabaxi, a very young Calico Tabaxi. She is 11. Rui, they are a small kobold, and for kobolds, probably about teenage aged, but for human years, 3. And Van, he is a 9-year-old deep gnome. And they are wrapped with your explanation of tricking the citizens into believing that a fell spirit has come across through the streets of Okurai this night.
Oh yeah, perfect. The demonstration begins with a leather glove. This is one of my favorite tricks to show, especially kids. Yes. I do this in real life, where you coat the leather glove in oil, and he rubs like a little bit of boron salt on it, and he just lights his glove on fire, and you see the spark. Because it's leather, it protects your hand. But like for kids, it's fascinating, and it sparks. And instead of like a regular like yellow or red flame, it sparks like bright green, and like it like before it dies back down.
That's
and
amazing, like, Sin. Tani
yep.
says.
Well, it's good to have proper applications for things, and scaring old people is a very good application.
I am so on board with this. Her green eyes get really big. Her ears are like totally perked up, tail flicking behind her. She is ready to go. She's like, okay, all right, Rui, Van, we got to do this. We're doing this today. Like, this is definitely happening. I really want to trick the school teacher. That would be the coolest part. We're gonna start near the orphanage, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always good to give a caretaker a scare,
Straight
too.
up.
Make sure that they're taking good care of the children.
Straight up bouncing up and down like, yes! This is gonna be so funny!
Yeah, I think he claps his hands to put out the flame in like a really like dramatic way.
Wow.
And he has like little pouches of like the salt to like give to each of the kids. And he's like, listen, you only need a little bit. Not a lot. Little bit. Or else you won't have enough for all the lanterns, okay?
Oh, right. So, like, how much? Like a pinch?
Yeah, like a pinch. You pinch your fingers.
Yeah.
Toss it in with your regular lighting, and then you go whoosh. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Okay. We're doing this. Okay, Rui, you take the west streets. Van, you take the east streets, and Tani poses dramatically. I am going to do the lanterns around the school. I'm the fastest and the oldest, therefore I should do it first.
Oh, you're the fastest now.
I will be faster than you pretty soon. Just give me a couple years. I'm training. I'll get there.
All right, I believe you. I'll time you even.
Oh, yes, let's go. So they take whatever supplies you hand them, and they immediately start scampering off. Do you follow any of them, or do you go about your morning, quote unquote?
I think out of the three of them, I trust Tawny. I just want to make sure that Van's okay.
Yeah.
Because Van's like a good bit shorter than like Sin is used to for like his little lantern lighters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So he just wants to make sure that like Van's doing all right.
Okay.
But he tries to appear aloof. He tries to appear like I'm not following you. It's fine.
Okay.
I trust you.
So full on just acting like you were already walking in that direction, kind of trailing behind Van as he goes, and you see that he immediately gets to work. He's got one of the little pouches of the powder, and I'm gonna roll a athletics check for him to see if he makes it up the first pull without screwing up. That's a 19 on the die. He scrambles up real quick and immediately does exactly precise to your instructions. He was clearly the one listening the most and sprinkles just a little bit, just enough, and the flame shifts to green. And he grins and slides down the lantern pole and quickly begins going on his way swiftly. He may be younger than the others and a little less experienced than the other lantern lighters that you have been mentoring over the last couple of years, but Van is always the quietest. He always listens to everything you and the other elder lantern lighters or former lantern lighters have to say. Definitely talks a lot less than Tawny.
There's a special place in Sin's heart for like the three, but like you know how like parents are like, oh, I don't have a favorite, but they always do.
Yeah.
Each of these three are Sin's favorite for like different reasons. Compared to like all the other kids that he knows, like these three are his favorite. Van is his favorite because he listens. And Tawny's his favorite and least favorite because he sees so much of himself in her.
Yup. She's a lot like you are. Yup.
And what was the kobold's name?
Rui. R-U-I. So Tawny, T-A-N-I, Rui, R-U-I, and Van, V-A-N.
All right. Well, Rui is I just feel like we didn't get a lot of Rui, but I can already feel like they're daring.
Oh, extremely daring. Definitely more quiet than Tawny if Tawny is around, but if Tawny is not around, Rui is the boss. They are, he pronouns for Rui. They are a little blue kobold, actually a little bit petite for a kobold, despite the fact that he's basically a teenager in kobold, by kobold standards. For you, 3 years. That's not very long, but teenager, essentially. And they are probably, despite their size, a little bit smaller and a little bit stronger than the other two. Or stronger in general, and tends to do more of like the heavier labor type stuff. You get the sense that Rui will probably do something that requires like a lot of strength as he gets older.
Nice. I think that's another reason that he likes Rui, because not to spoil anything for everybody, I think that Sin might be the shortest in the party, as well as the oldest.
Yeah. I think
so
that is correct.
Maybe there is a chip somewhere on the upper torso, potentially the shoulder.
And as you're watching Van working at what he's doing, I imagine you kind of veer off to check on Rui next. And Rui is like, you don't see Rui at first. Can I get the first roll of the campaign?
Yes.
Perception check, please.
All right. Okay, that's a 12 on the die. I'm a bad person, and I don't have my D&D Beyond sheet up.
How dare you? Your +2 perception is 4. So 16.
Okay, so 16. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have all your sheets up all the time, so there you go. So at first you're like, where the hell did they go? And you're looking around, and you hear the soft padding of footsteps running along the roof above you where you're standing. You're like, he should be on this street. Where is he? And you look up and you see Rui running on the rooftop. How the hell he got up there, you do not know.
A little bit of like a heart palpitation, and like Sin's just like quietly muttering under his breath, like, maybe I'm too old for this. But definitely, like, you see him start to like try and match the speed, not going too fast, not going too slow, but just in case Rui falls, there'll be someone to catch him.
So now that you've said that, I'm gonna roll to see if he does when he tries to scramble down to get to the next lantern light. Because you're already seeing green lanterns around. He moves quick. Let's see what they do. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That's a bad roll. That's a real bad roll. That's a 7 on the die for Rui. Rui, very seemingly deftly is running along the rooftops, but when he kind of slides to a stop, and as always, it is quite misty here in Okurai. It is like that all over the Vale, and he slides to a stop, and that's not the problem. The problem is when he goes to swing down from the edge of the roof onto the next light pole, and that is where you see his little clawed foot slip, and he starts going, ass over tea kettle backwards off of the light pole. What do you do?
Oh, scramble forward to catch him.
Okay, give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you catch him.
All right. That is an 18 on the die.
Perfect.
With a +6.
Okay.
So that is 24 to catch him.
Yeah, that is very sufficient. Luck die for the NPC. Oh boy. Okay. That's a lot. That's a much better roll. So we'll say between that luck die, because of the delay for chat, between that luck die and your incredible dex saving throw, you easily slide onto the scene and catch the little blue kobold before he cracks his poor little head on the mossy cobblestone below. And he looks up at you and he's like, hey, you weren't supposed to see that. I'm fine, everything's fine.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I meant to do that. Totally.
Yeah, good job, kiddo.
Absolutely, totally meant to do that. I swear it. Yeah, it was
I
all
didn't
an act.
see...
I was gonna do this cool roll thing and like a hero landing,
I just wanted to give you a big old hug. That's it.
Aw, thanks, buddy. He gives you a big hug, and hops down, and he picks up the pouch that he dropped in the process of all of this, and he goes, I should probably slow down. I wanted to beat Tawny to the end of my route.
That's fair. But maybe not the rooftops.
Yeah, I think it's a little too slippery out tonight for that.
Yeah. Be safe. All right. And he reaches out and just sort of like pats Rui on the head.
He gives you a little thumbs up, which is funny because he only has 3 fingers, so it's just like 1 finger up.
I love it.
And he scampers off into the dark, into the mist. So you know what today is. Today is the day of your summons to the Setesk. And that invitation, much as you've been waiting for something like this, is so vague, so unexpected. You're not really sure why they would pick you, unless you're in trouble of some kind, which, who knows these days. How does Sin feel about getting this letter?
Sin is like reluctantly hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just like, what could this be? Because it could be everything that he wants.
Right.
But it also could be that he has messed up significantly, um, and so, like he hasn't heard anything from Rev, that it might be like an infiltration style thing. Is this a fake letter? Is this a prank?
Right.
So it's just like, I have no idea what this could be. But if it gets me inside, if it's not something that's worth my time, maybe I can steal some information.
Yeah, that sounds worth it. So let's talk about where you're at in the city. You are currently in the outer ring of Okurai. Okurai is also known as the ring-walled city, and the Satask is in the center of the city. So you're not close by any means. Do you start heading in that direction since you know the time is coming upon you?
Yeah, for sure. And probably see if I can hear any utterances of worry from my prank as I head towards the center of the city.
I'll say, unless you want to roll another perception check, we can go off of your perception check from earlier. As you walk through the city and you start seeing more and more lanterns shift to that eerie green color, brightening up the night, because typically, regular fire in paper lanterns and glass lanterns and things like that don't really emit an extremely bright light. But when you change the hue of the flame, it brightens it significantly. Green flame is very bright. For anybody who likes hacking, sorry. I couldn't resist. And the night feels brighter as this begins to occur, and you're catching on to the fact that more of the lantern lighter kids that aren't your proteges are catching on to this trick, and they seem to all be, eventually communicating, and it's spreading throughout the city. So you do eventually hear somebody in an alleyway somewhere, probably near like a market area, saying, "What ill omen is this? Something is foul in the city. We should investigate. Somebody call the Veil Guard. We need to figure out what's causing this. Perhaps there is a spirit causing this to occur."
I think Sin is just laughing to himself as he walks down the street. Like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And while other people might see it as an ill omen, as the night lights up more, he can't help but feel like hope, a new opportunity. And he's excited for it.
Awesome. As you come up to the center of the city, you see the ancient building that is known as the Satask, the seat of the Caligo Scire, the governing body of Okurai and all of the Vale of Night. It is a large, it's a rather large building, and it has rounded walls around it. But that's not the first thing that you notice. You see this building all the time. You're always everywhere throughout the city. What you do notice is that the headquarters of the Veil Guard seems to be abuzz with a visit of some kind. You can't quite tell exactly who is there or why. And you're not sure you want to get close enough to find out if they're already calling the Veil Guard on your prank. So that is where we will cut to Revelation.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We're going to shift some things here. Bear with me just a moment. I think this is the right track. Can't remember the names of my own songs. What are the odds? Okay. There we go. The stars whisper to you, Revelation. It happens from time to time. And sometimes you listen a little more closely than you should. Sometimes those words dictate your life in a way you don't expect. And they have been louder and louder since your vision. Eyes of flame. And the foulest, blistering death. Not even death itself, but something worse. But you did find some relief when you received that invitation from the Caligo Scire. And sadly, despite your urge to chase these secrets, to chase the whispers, you have work to do. As do we all. And today, you find yourself in a local cellar of a tavern. We'll say it's probably the Laughing Drow Tavern. So there is definitely, in fact, I should say, I should probably change to tavern music. That would be more fun, wouldn't it? You hear footsteps above and people talking and starting their day, having breakfast or coffee or what have you, up in the dining and bar area above. But you are in the cellar. Why? Because there are mice and they do not want to leave. And the owner is very unhappy. And as a druid of the city, it is your job to convince them to move elsewhere.
Hate to have to do this job.
Yep.
But no, so I think we see Revelation in this cellar looking just horribly out of place. They are dressed to the nines, sort of as they always are, but today's an even more special day. So, you know, slightly dusty cellar, mouse droppings around, and then there's Revelation, like draped just so in a fur mantle and a long, flowing, like delicately embroidered white dress, just fully does not look like they should be here.
And the scene before you is the owner of the Laughing Drow Tavern has just left you to your work, saying something about having very much work to do, and to let him know if you have any problems. But the scene before you is, yes, there are rat droppings, little footprints in the dirt of the cellar. There are barrels all about, and a knocked over bag of grain that seems to have a little hole in the side for obvious reasons. And off in the corner to your left is the obvious evidence of a hole in the wall. What do you do?
I look at the bag of grain and sigh, because my initial plan was to just try and lure them out with food, but clearly they're eating well here, and so I'm actually going to have to use some druid things to get them out. So I think...
You were given cheese to use as leverage if you would like to do so. You have some pocket cheese now. Not that it's in your pocket, because God forbid that touches your dress. Oh my god.
I think that before she resorts to the cheese, we see Revelation spend, it takes 10 minutes to cast Speak with Animals, so looks around for a clean place to sit.
Yep.
Doesn't find it.
Nope.
And just sort of gingerly leans against the walls and starts attempting to meditate to, like, attune themselves to the animal world. Like, they're happy and fine being attuned to the stars, but rats, like, ugh. But needs must. So
needs must. And so as you cast the spell, I wonder if it's an ice spray. I love that. Who doesn't love pocket cheese? I don't know. I love pocket cheese personally. But as you cast the spell, you find yourself feeling the change, that shift in your mind that allows you to speak with and understand animals. And once that is complete, you do hear very quiet squeaking on the other side of the room from where you have posted up against the wall.
Hey.
You see a head poke out, like, obviously on the floor. You see a little mouse head poke out from, like, around the corner of one of the crates near where the grain has been knocked over. Yeah, what do you want?
The owner sent me to warn you if all of you don't leave soon, they're going to bring in cats.
What? Cats? Ugh, man, it's cold outside. Can't you tell them to just, like, let us hang out for the winter or something? It's cold.
There are plenty of other houses around here. You just can't stay here.
So what? We go to another house, you come and yell at us at that house and say we gotta go to another house? Is this just your way of, like, continual employment? Is this what druids do now?
Everyone's gotta eat. You should know that better than
me too.
anyone.
I'm eating here. Look at this. This is mine. I claimed it.
You're eating grain. I have something so much better. And I think Revelation pulls out a morsel of the cheese and, like, wafts it around.
Oh, yeah. The little mouse comes out, and then a couple more come out of the woodworks, quite literally. Hey, I'm mousing here. Thank you, chat. A couple more come out of the woodworks at the mention of cheese, or at the mention of more, and they just kind of look up, like, expectantly. So
I mean, here's the thing, though. I can only give this to you if everyone leaves the building.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oof. Oh, okay. That is an 18 on the dice, so the fact that I have a 2 persuasion is not terrible.
Dirty 20 on that persuasion, which is good for you because this would be a much longer conversation if it wasn't. They're like, alright, okay. You're gonna bring the cheese, you're gonna bring it outside, you're gonna put it on the ground. We're gonna come get it. Okay, give me like a minute. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, meet you outside. Out front! I'm not gonna leave through the alley like a peasant, you know. It's winter, I got a family to feed.
I would never ask that of you.
One minute. Alright. And they all scamper back through the hole. You go outside?
Yeah, I go outside.
Precisely 1 minute later. This, like a whole throng of mice are just, like, here to pick up the cheese. They all, like, break it up into little pieces so that they can, like, all carry it wherever they're going, so that no one mouse has to, like, struggle with a big piece. He looks up at you and he's like, okay. We're gonna go. You know what? I'm not gonna tell you where we're gonna go, because otherwise you're just gonna chase me to that place. And it's winter time, and it's cold. We're gonna find somewhere else. Maybe we'll post up in your house or something.
We already made a deal. And in the spirit of generosity and the winter, I'll let you know, y'all didn't do a good job negotiating. Next time a druid comes around trying to kick you out of a building, at least ask them for, like, a new nest, some blankets, something. Come on.
What? You think I'm intelligent enough for that? I'm a mouse. Come on.
I think you want to stay warm, and now you know.
Well, I guess we'll just have to stay in the other tavern, and then you'll have to come back, and we'll negotiate again. See you next week. And they peace out.
Hope it isn't me. And Rev like salutes them and goes in, I guess, to tell the tavern owner that the problem has been
Godspeed.
solved.
Yeah. You walk up to the tavern owner, and it is a not quite elderly, definitely middle-aged drow gentleman. And he is currently behind the bar. This is you're very familiar with pretty much most of the tavern owners, I would imagine at this point. This is Irnasi. I had to think about the name for a second. This is Irnasi. He is the proprietor of the Laughing Drow Inn. He's got long silver hair that's kind of in a braid pulled back. And he is currently cleaning a glass, as bartenders are wont to do. And he looks up at you and he says, "So, how'd you do?"
All clear.
Really, that fast, huh?
We prize ourselves on our efficiency. But if you wanted to leave a comment for the other druids about how efficient this was,
I will do that. I will speak to them. Thank you for making it so easy.
thank
You
you.
must have-
Please take this 5-minute survey and give me 10 stars.
10 out of 10 would summon again. Thank you so much for your help. I did not have time to deal with it, and I prefer not to have cats in the tavern if I can avoid it, because, then they're gonna think we're a cat cafe. Oh, Neo Salgod! Thank you so much for the raid to the party of 2 sweet beans. Hello, everybody. And thank you, everybody, for the follows and the bits and the things. If you buy bits and you want to redeem them for anything, in the panels below are the amounts for which you can redeem your points to affect the game. So let me know in chat. Please at me in chat or Spectrefey so you can see stuff and things. Anyway, go follow Neo Soul God. They are great. Okay, so yes, he says to you, all right, well, I will let them know, and thank you again for your service. And next time you come in, your first drink is on me.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. If you need anything, let me know. Or if you want to get some food to go, here we are.
Rev sort of looks down at their clothes and looks around at the tavern. And thank you for the kind offer. I'll pass for now. Just dealing with the mice put me off a little bit.
Fair enough. Well, on your way then, and maybe I'll request you next time. Thanks for the help.
There is a flash of pure, distress and panic when he says that, because the absolute last thing that they want is to be called back here to deal with more mice. But yes, perhaps I will see you next time.
What do you do now? Do you head out? You just about face and just walk straight out? Bye!
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what today is. You know that today is the chance you have most definitely been waiting for. An invitation to the Setesk, a personal summons to the Setesk is unheard of. This is perfect. This is the inn you have been wanting, probably. You don't quite know the details yet, but you're sure that your work and your dedication has, as thinly veiled as it is, this is it. This is the one. This is when they recognize you for your greatness, whether it's really as a druid or not. So how does Revelation feel about having this invitation to see the Caligo Scire? Because for the table, nobody knows who else got invitations. For all you know, you are the only one who is special in this way.
Yeah, I think that there's a sense of sort of pride and accomplishment, but also a sense of like, of course I got this invitation. Like, I knew that I would.
Yeah.
I deserve this.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 out of 10 would hire again.
Like, yeah, no, I mean, I've been putting in the hours talking to the mice, and this is this is the true path forward for me.
Put in your hours, it took you 5 minutes. It was the easiest job you've ever had for the druids, probably. It certainly beats cleaning up after animals, though. Like, just persuading them to go away and giving them some cheese to buy their compliance, you know? Oh my god, Steve! Thank you so much for the raid with a party of 16! Sweet beans, holy shit! Thank you so much, 2 raids in a row. If you like fantasy art, especially art that involves dragons, go follow Steve. Roll for initiative. I already have, and it was a nat 20. What's up? Because I'm the dungeon master, damn it! Thank you so much for that raid, Steve. I hope you had a really great stream. Okay, so, you leave Irnasi at the Laughing Drow Tavern and start making your way down the misty streets of Okurai. And very occasionally, since your vision, sometimes things just don't feel right. Feel like, you know, something is off. Something is looming. You're not sure what it is. But occasionally it feels like something is watching you. And this is not a new feeling to you, but it seems to be more frequent now. It is certainly something you have dealt with on numerous occasions, but have never found a source, no matter how hard you have searched, no matter what kind of magic you've done about it, or even if you've asked others about it. It is just, you chalk it up to a matter of your birth. You chalk it up to a matter of your ability to commune with the unknown. And that flash of fire again in your mind as you walk out towards the center of the city to the Setesk. A massive beast with eyes of flame. Claws digging into the dirt and blood on its maw. The details of which you really cannot see, but you smell it. The coppery tin of it. The heat of the fire, different from real fire entirely, and just occasionally flashes of this vision, flashes of the whispers that you heard, flashes of the violent nature of this thing. Maybe the Caligo Scire know what this is. Maybe they can give you answers.
And if they don't know, if they can't give us answers, that's almost more intriguing.
Indeed. Everyone loves a good mystery. So, do you head directly to the Setesk, or do you kind of meander about on your way?
I think that I'll head there directly. If I'm early, maybe I can overhear something interesting.
Yes, even better. You do notice something a little weird. The lanterns that are usually set about for those who do not have dark vision all throughout Okurai and all of the Vale, a lot of them are green flame. So it's like a little bit brighter outside than you're used to. You know, the sky full of, you know, hundreds upon hundreds of stars as per usual. It is a new moon tonight, so you're not really seeing the moon. So it's darker than it typically would be, except for the fact that the lanterns are all fucking green, which is not how it works around here. So you're just looking around like, what the hell is going on? Like, is this why I feel weird? Is this the weirdness now?
Disrespectful. The stars are right there. Why do we need these gaudy green lanterns now?
Right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. So you are noticing, even as you continue towards the center of the city, some of the lanterns look normal, some of them are green, more of them are turning green. Why is this happening? Give me an insight check real quick. Let's roll about it.
$19.
19. This feels a little bit like Synarch's handiwork. This feels like something Synarch would do. You're not sure why. I mean, you're like, okay, I don't feel like this is super magical. It just seems like somebody's playing a prank. Oh, wait. Who do I know that loves to play pranks? Who do I know who is, like, always coming up with shit to annoy people and drive them nuts?
But today, of all days, come on, Sin, if you're gonna draw the ire of the town, can you not do it on my big day?
They're distracting from your greatness, truly. But yeah, something in your instinct just tells you it is your friend Synarch who is causing havoc throughout the city in the most subtle of ways, as per usual. And so, as you approach the set task, here is where we will cut to Aurora. And a scene change, but only for Aurora. Bear with me just a second. Uh-oh, it broke. Of course it did. This is fine, I got this.
Yeah, that was Aurora.
Yep, you broke it. Let me really quickly slap the map in here, and then I will pull you in. But yes, so, things and stuff are happening. I had uploaded this map to OBS, or rather to One More Multiverse, and it betrayed me. Typical. Typical. There we go. Making it quick. Okay. And now I'm going to pull you in. Pull to my level. There we go. Okay. Let's get the music going because it destroyed my music too. Oops. We're all professionals here, I swear.
I'm not. I'm talking out of turn.
This is literally my first time on stream.
This is quite all right. Oh wow. Okay, the scale of this doesn't matter. What matters is that you are seeing this scene, and I will share it with the folks at home, so you all can see it. As soon as I delete the stupid default thing. There we go. I'm gonna make Aurora's token larger because it seems weird to me that you're so teeny tiny. Excuse me, and of course I'm sneezing now. Oh no, why can I not make you larger? There we go. Oh god, not that big. Okay. So.
I could be a giant woman.
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman. Okay, so, you awaken in not home. It is, well, actually, while it is dark in here, as it is dark in most places, you see the remnants of a night of revelry and debauchery all around the room. Clothes strewn on the floor, food still on the table. Somebody left their lyre over by the fireplace on the floor. But the thing that awakens you is more that a green light is kind of filtering through the window, and it has awakened you rather unpleasantly. So it got weirdly bright outside, and just this annoying green light is just like shining right in your face. And you are hung over. Oh my god, you are so hungover. This is just like the worst. My question to you is, how many people are in this room right now? Is it just you and whoever you were with last night, or are you alone, or is there multiple people? Was it like a party?
I would say it was a party,
Okay,
and
there you go.
everyone was invited.
Okay.
Anyone who was down to clown could join in.
So there's somebody sleeping on the couch, there's somebody sleeping on the floor, there's somebody in the bed next to you, and somebody at the foot of the bed, and another person passed out at the table, goblet still half in hand. Their head is just down on the table, just passed the fuck out. It's a little smoky in here. Somebody was having you guys were having a good time last night, and you realize, shit, today is important, and then I gotta go be a human now, or be a not a human, be an adult now, because you are very much not human.
No, I am not. But I just like sit up after being rudely awakened by the light, and I'm just like, oh shit, what time is it?
It is
potentially waking my bedfellow.
Yeah, somebody stirs, and their head pops up, and they're just like, oh man, and looks at the clock across the room and says, oh, shit, it's almost noon.
Oh no, I have places to be. It was lovely to meet you, great to party with you. See you again soon.
Yeah, and, message me sometime,
yeah,
we'll hang out
totally.
again. Yeah, totally. Really cool to meet you. Aurora, right?
Oh, good job. I wasn't sure you were going to get it out.
I think I'm still a little bit drunk. I'm surprised too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember yours, so you're going to have to give it to me.
Fuck. I should have named the people who were in the room.
I just threw him off kilter like so much that he forgot his own name.
My name is Silver.
Silver.
Yeah, with a Y, because I'm edgy.
That's so cool of you. Anyway, I have things to do. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And I'll like start like
picking up your
clothes.
stuff and piecing out. Oh yeah. You're easily able to get your clothes, dress yourself back up. It's the second one, Vic. SILVYR for the folks at home. And so you quickly gather up your stuff. Your hair, if it could be a mess, would probably be a mess, except it's flames, so it always looks the same. And you wander on out of the Constellation Lounge, which is where you spent your night last night, which is one of the local brothels / places of revelry. And where do you head
My
first?
favorite
Your favorite one, yes.
I head home. Like,
Okay.
I gotta freshen up a little before I do this, so I'm kind of like making a beeline for the house, hoping to maybe avoid running into anybody before I go to the next location.
Okay. That's probably not gonna happen, you suspect.
Yeah, I'm not super good at being stealthy.
Yeah. So you head home, full on walk of shame, back to the the Incineratus Palisade. It is a
And I'll just point out,
yes.
shame for other people's perspective, but not Aurora. She has no shame.
Okay, perfect. Love to see it. So yes, walk of pride, walk of dignity, walk of I just partied my ass off last night and you wish you were me. So you head back. Yeah, let's not call it the walk of shame. I much prefer not to, actually. I just couldn't think of another word. So you head back to the Incineratus Palisade. It is a stately home, the home of your parents, which unfortunately is where you live right now because somebody burned their house down.
A little.
Just a little bit. It's fine. They're repairing it or something, probably. You can't be bothered at the moment to think about the details there because it will probably just bring up yet another fight with your mother. So you head back to the Palisade, off to the center ring. You know what today is. You know it is important. You know your family knows all about it. Probably more about the situation than you do, which is not the vibe.
I don't like it. It's very annoying.
Yeah, it your mom always seems to know more than you do about anything involving the Caligo Scire or anything about the city in general. Being the second in command of the Veil Guard, she tends to know quite a lot about everything. And you haven't really had the chance to speak with her on it. But you begin approaching the courtyard to the palisade, and one of the servants kind of waves you over to kind of like sneak you through the kitchen because they take quite a bit of I don't want to say pity, more like sympathy. They sympathize with you. Your parents are, your parents. And you are very different from the rest of your family. And so this is Wynn. Wynn is one of the maids. And she kind of waves you over towards the side door to what you know is the kitchen.
So I'm gonna act like I'm being stealthy, but in reality, Aurora isn't really paying that much attention to what her body's doing, so she's probably stomping.
Yeah. You actually, do you have any instruments on you right now? Like, musical instruments on you right now? I don't remember if you carry anything like that just for, the shits and giggles.
I don't think... let me just check real quick. I wrote down what I have on me, and then I forgot what it is. So
we'll say, so you don't have to struggle, we'll say instead your wineskin. You drop that, and it just clunk onto the ground. And sloshes. It doesn't break open or anything, but you can hear the liquid sloshing and it's louder than you wanted it to be. You're just like, oh shit, you gotta scramble back and pick it up. This is all as Wynn is just kind of cringing, like, come on, hurry up. Your mom, come on.
I'm sorry, I'm trying.
And Wynn, is a, she is a high elf. So she's got dirty blonde kind of ringlets that frame her face. She's kind of a waifish woman. Probably in her 30s, so a little bit older than you. But she has always been very kind to you. Whereas some of the other servants probably just prefer to stay out of the way. She always seems to be looking out for you. But yeah, she waves you over and she says, come on. Seriously, trust me.
Is she in a mood?
Oh, when is she not?
You know it. How long has she been awake? A while?
Oh, yeah. She is probably, she's... Oh, I feel it. Do you feel it? I feel eyes. I feel eyes on us right now. She curtsies to you because she feels like she's being watched, and she says, Lady Incineratus, welcome home. And from behind you, you hear, "I see you have finally deigned to come home."
So I just like tense up and like freeze, and then after a moment relax, and then turn around and say, "Good morning, Mother. I'm here right in time."
You were supposed to be home hours ago so that I could brief you on your meeting at the Satask.
Ah, you were gonna brief me. That's a real surprise because I did ask you yesterday and the day before and the day before that. Do you want to brief me while I change?
Might as well. I did not have time before. I have been busy, as you know. My job tends to keep me that way.
Of course.
Upstairs you go, and she will follow you to your room.
I'll like try to be as dignified as possible, but I'm running.
But as you start walking to the main entrance of the house rather than the side where you were trying to sneak into, you hear her say over her shoulder to Wynn, "Please bring us some coffee immediately, because my daughter still smells like alcohol," as she follows you into the palisade. And
I'll
up
just
to
like
your
shout back, "Thanks, Win."
And Wynn scurries off into the kitchen, where she was trying to herd you to get you out of sight, but was unfortunately too late. It is very difficult to escape the gaze of Nova Incineratus. And Nova trails behind you up to your room, or rather your temporary room, as she continues to call it, your temporary room, where you are staying, not living. And she will sit outside of the changing room, because of course your room has a changing room. It's not just a simple bedroom. And she will sit on probably the bench at the end of your bed. It's like a padded kind of bench with a little chest underneath it for you to put like blankets and such in. What does your room look like, actually? What kind of
in
room
terms
does
of
Aurora have?
like decor or like
Like
stuff?
what kind of colors? What kind of decor do you tend to put up in your room? Because it was probably pretty bare bones when you moved back in, so it was up to you to redecorate.
Okay, I'd say she would go really for like a very monochromatic. She likes silver things, so she puts like fabrics and frames and candelabras, that sort of thing. Just anything shiny around. But also she's a bit messy, so some of her belongings are kind of like strewn about as well.
Okay. I'm getting like artist bedroom vibes where there's like, it's organized chaos.
Yes.
I say, thinking of my own bedroom, organized chaos. So she is basically waiting for you in your room while you are in the adjacent changing room, where you are probably trying to figure out what kind of clothes you're going to wear that don't smell like smoke and alcohol and food and things like that from your revelry the night before. And the silence is deafening in this moment. The silence is, you could cut it with a knife. It's thick. It doesn't feel good. You know what's coming.
Then she'll break it early and say, "So, this meeting, it's pretty big deal to get a letter. You gonna tell me about it?"
It is indeed unheard of to receive such an invitation.
So you didn't incur... Sorry, I'll let you tell me whatever it is you need to tell me.
What I can tell you is that you are not the only one to have received an invitation. Based on that information, it sounds like they have a job for you.
Oh.
I'm not sure whether it is something you should feel honored or excited about quite yet, but perhaps they see something in you, and perhaps it will give you an opportunity to live up to your potential.
Exactly. This is what I've been waiting for, you know, when I've been going around town and putting my name out there and setting up other groups. This is what I wanted for myself. So it's all coming together.
Is it now?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, unfortunately, I have been, over these last few days of you badgering me, trying to get more information for you, but it seems to be of the utmost secrecy, which is why I think it is a job. Which is why you should probably prepare yourself for leaving Okurai.
Is that wishful thinking?
No, of course not. When have I ever asked you to leave? You left of your own accord.
You didn't have to ask, Mother. But I'm here now, aren't I? Really appreciating the temporary lodgings. But if it's a job, then that's a reason to leave, and that's what I wanted.
You hear her sigh a little bit in the next room. She says, "Despite my tone, I do not wish to fight with you. If you have to leave, hopefully it is not for long. I would prefer that you not go far from me, despite our butting heads."
I know. But if I leave, then maybe I can do something worthy of what you wanted for me. It'll be worth it. And then I'll come back and you'll be even happier to see me.
Perhaps some distance will ease some of the tension.
Probably. I think at this point, she's probably figured out what exactly she's wearing, and maybe she's still somewhere on the spectrum of getting ready. But she kind of pokes her head out the door and says, "Mom, I will be back. So you don't have to worry. Just try to be excited for me."
If it is what I think it is, I'm very excited for you. You know that...
Thank you.
While the origins of your potential are difficult for our family to process, you can tell she's trying to be diplomatic in this moment, which is unusual for her. Usually it's thinly veiled insults. You know that your potential to be more, to do more, is vast. I want that for you. I always have. I know I have not approved of all of your little odd jobs and those sorts of adventures in the past. It is because I want more for you. But I also know that it's part of growing up. This is part of learning who you are. Off you go. I'm sure you will have the opportunity to get supplies and such, if it is indeed a job that will take you away from home. And
Of course, I'll have to pack.
I have a meeting at the headquarters today, so I will walk with you, if that is all right.
Of course.
By the time
Surprised.
By the time you are done with your meeting, however, I may be back home. So if you don't see me at headquarters, that is where I will be.
Okay, sounds good.
So she will probably, like, you know, she's not going to change her clothes. She's wearing her uniform. Like, she is in uniform fully. She's not.
She's been ready
dressed.
since 6 a.m.
She's been ready since 6 a.m. She's been ready and waiting and ready to go. So she will walk with you outside into the courtyard. We'll say sometime during this conversation, coffee arrived and you were able to get some caffeine in you, or tea, or whatever it is that Wynn decided to bring you. She knows what you like. So that you were able to, clean up a little bit and drink something that doesn't smell like alcohol before you exit the palisade out into the courtyard and to the street. Now, you are already in the center of town, so it is not a very far walk. The headquarters for the Vale Guard is directly next to the Satesk, so you were essentially walking to the same place as it was already. And before you part ways and head to the I almost said to the Caligo Scire, to the Satesk, is there anything you would like to say to your mother before you part ways and she goes into the other building?
So I'm like about to walk away, and then at the last second just turn back around and somewhat formally say,
Mm-hmm.
Mother, I will not let you down. I'll live up to that potential. I promise. And when I do, I can find her. And then I'll turn and leave.
Yeah, that stone, very stoic expression softens for a moment when you say that, and she says, "We shall see. I will see you later." And she will gently brush your shoulder before you part ways, and walk off into the headquarters. And that is where we will cut to Nikita.
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello. Nikita, today is an important day for you because you have received not one but 2 invitations for the same day.
And one of them kind of resounds, or is a lot more heavier than the other for me. But
Yes.
Still curious, either way.
It is unusual to be acknowledged in such a way by the Vale Guard. You've been working in Okurai for 5 years now, is that correct?
Yeah, 5 to close to 6.
Yeah. And during that time, you've done a lot of jobs around the city, working as a sellsword or manual labor, or helping out with jobs that the Vale Guard simply did not have time to deal with, petty thievery and things of that nature. And stopping rabble-rousers from starting fights in taverns and things like that, working security and other such jobs.
I mean, anything they need me for. I mean, I'm huge. I could do this. So
Yeah. Big, strong lady.
Big, strong.
So, how do you start your day, Nikita?
Nikita is probably, she's already been awake for a little bit. She's out at her camp that she usually likes to, chill out in.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that she's probably like nearing the end of brushing her hair, her big mane of hair. with this very delicate brush that's pretty old looking. And she's kind of making sure that her little buddy is on the opposite side.
Yes.
Making sure that she doesn't brush through him by accident.
Smar is scampering from shoulder to shoulder, depending on where you are brushing, and eventually just kind of hops down, like onto like your upper chest and then down onto like your knee. He just kind of glides down and it just sits there, looks up at you with his big eyes. Little flying squirrel, just kind of chilling.
She's just gonna scritch him a little bit and.
Oh, he loves it. He does the little foot tap thing that dogs do.
Oh my god. My baby. Although I'm excited. She's pretty stoic in this, but she does crack a smile. Mm-hmm. She's gonna just make sure that he stays there safely while she finishes up.
Yep.
And she feels the weight of the day. It's been coming for a while. Mm-hmm. And she knows her first stop is probably going to be the Veilguard to find out what's been going on with that and to give the news she's been needing to give for a while now.
Yes, and they said that they were expecting you, but that the time that you were to show was up to you, and that you would be meeting with the head of the Veilguard today. And who that is, you're actually not sure. They have never really been mentioned. You've only ever heard of Nova Incineratus, the second in command of the Veilguard. And so you're not totally sure exactly who you're going to be speaking to, which is unsettling in and of itself.
Yeah, I knew I had to go to them.
Yeah. And as you are contemplating this very serious moment, you hear a little squeak of protest from Smar, who is obviously hungry and ready for breakfast.
Right. Sorry. I got you. And she's gonna pull out of her bag just a little, like, she has, like, for her, like, kind of like pocket jerky kind of situation. Mm-hmm. But for him, she has like little, like, I guess nuts and stuff.
Yeah.
For him to kind of nibble on.
Or like a little cracker.
Yeah, something just for him to have his breakfast, and she's gonna nibble on some jerky in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
Join him.
You give him like a little, like, half of a cracker because he's so tiny. He doesn't.
He's
eat
so
a whole
tiny.
One. He's already chubby as it is. You're trying to cut down on his calories a little bit, so he's just like eating the cracker or whatever nuts or berries you give him, and he is just like nomming it and squeaking happily as he does.
Yeah. I have no concept of what his dietary, like, proper or appropriate amounts are, because he's probably just, like, so small in comparison to my hand on top of it all. So yeah. I'm just trying my best to make sure he's, like, healthy as best as I can. Just, like, I check him every day, make sure he has no little, like, splinters or anything. Like, I take care of him.
Yes. He once he's done eating, he kind of yawns and scampers back up your arm, up onto your shoulder, and finds a spot somewhere in your massive mane of hair to hide as per usual.
Perfect. All right, stay safe, and I mean, if I need you, I'll let you know.
You hear a little squeak of affirmation.
All right, and she's gonna stand up and kind of take in, like, a good breath of fresh air, and she's gonna start heading over to the Veilguard.
Are you, actually, question for you. Are you staying
yes.
at your camp today, or are you staying at your home in the city?
I want to say that she's probably at her camp, but she's probably walking back into the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take a nice stroll across the fields outside of Okurai, which are kind of hilly, and the mist is particularly thick. And as you enter the main gate, I imagine the southern gate. Actually, do you stay to the north or south of Okurai? I should let you decide that.
You know, I kind of, like, imagine the little, like, northwest.
Yeah, the northwest. There's only two. There's only two ways in and out of the city. There's the northwestern street road, and then there's the southeastern road. So you take the northern gate, and something you notice right away as you get into the city, there's always lanterns lit. That's what the lantern lighters are for. They keep things lit for those citizens of the Vale who do not have dark vision, or other abilities to see in the dark. The fire in the lanterns are green. It's
She
eerie.
kind of, like,
it's creepy.
Just staring at it for a second. A little dumbfounded, but not completely shocked, because I feel like she would have seen some kind of tomfoolery around the city at this point.
Oh, yeah. You've definitely picked up on bits and pieces while on jobs of various things that have gone mysteriously awry, and it has frustrated you to no end, though you have no idea the source of the mischief. That might be even more frustrating, actually. I'll let you decide on that.
Either it's really bad or it's someone doing something else.
Mm-hmm. You do hear like the filtering of conversations as you walk through the streets of the city. Some people are speculating that it's a fell spirit. Some are saying it's a prank. Some are saying it's a demon. Some saying the city's going to be under attack and the Vale Guard must be summoned, or something like that. Some people are really overreacting to the green fire, especially since nothing is actively happening in the streets right now. It just looks a little spooky outside. So yeah, that's what you hear. What's up, demons? It's your boy.
I think she would definitely just sigh and just think about like a potential new job she'd have to pick up.
Yep. So you head through the city and pass through each gate, heading towards the center, towards the headquarters, next to the Setesk, and that is where we will. I'm going to bring Nikita's token. I'm going to travel to the map, and then I will bring you over. Apparently I can't do both at the same time. Limitations of the platform that I use. Okay, pull to my level, and there you are. So we will share this map with the lovely folks at home, because I really think you're going to enjoy this. Hopefully, Maddie, you can see this. Let me change the map view. So you enter the inner sanctum of the Vale Guard headquarters. You were greeted by Nova Incineratus herself, whom you have never interacted with before. She greeted you and said that you were expected, and escorted you into this inner sanctum. So I guess the way I should describe this is, it is a large building, not as large as the Setesk, but it's also in kind of like a T shape, and in the center is a walled-off courtyard, which is where you are standing currently. There are tall, green stone pillars lining the walkway, and off to your left is a beautiful fountain with a very large statue of a mermaid woman hanging on to two dolphins. Kind of like she's rising above the water with the help of these creatures. And in the fountain are a bunch of little fishies kind of floating around. I'll show that to the folks at home so you can see where Nikita is at right now. And the mist seems to be oddly thicker here. More than, oops, I didn't click on that. More than you would expect. So this is the moment you're waiting for, and you walk up to these massive double doors that are in this space. And I'll pull your token over here so you can see. And we're going to reveal what is behind the door, because you are about to meet the leader of the Vale Guard. Oh no. Oh no.
She stands up straight. She just adjusts her mask a little bit.
So I'm gonna change this and see if it will. See if this will clear it. So you step into this room. And in the center of a room full of gold and jewels and swords and statues is a massive silver dragon.
Oh.
This is a very, very large room, and she fills about most of it. So I'm just gonna say that token is actually not big enough. This is probably about the right size.
See white on my end, so I'm glad I could see it through the stream. Actually, that is insane.
Can you not see?
No, but we got the stream. We're good.
Cool. So in the center of this ornate room full of treasure is it's not big enough. Okay, yeah, that's true. It is a massive silver dragon with large spines and wings that are humongous wings that are folded back at the moment. She is sitting on the ground and turns her head towards you, and she says, "Welcome, Nikita."
Thank you.
It is my understanding that you have something to tell me.
Right. This is probably news that I should have given earlier, but about 6-ish years, some months and 10 days, I think now ago, a retired one of your own passed on. His name was Armogan Ayaga.
Oh, I see. I apologize. I should introduce myself. I am Irgon, Lady of the Skies. But you may simply call me Irgon. And that's Yrgan.
Okay. It is nice to meet you, Iragon. I am Nikita, but I believe you already knew that because I have this letter in my hand.
Yes.
I
passed,
just
you
thought,
said?
yes, he was already old, and over a winter he just did not make it. And as he asked of me, he was buried in his retirement home, essentially his late life home, and he is there now. I just thought that since he was one of your own, I would report that to you. I feel like he carried his status in of being a Velgard as very high importance. So it's important to him, so I was hoping it was important to you.
It is indeed. She kind of regards you for a moment. She's got really bright blue eyes, kind of an icy blue, almost too pale. And she kind of lowers her head to your level so that she is looking directly at you. And she says, you also realize that, like, her mouth is moving, but you almost hear her voice in your mind as well, which is a little disorienting.
Right.
And she says, if it was so many years ago, why did you wait?
Well, I figured that you wouldn't respond well to a random outsider giving you such information, so I figured I would try to build some reputation or rapport with people from Okurai and also the Velgard to be able to be trusted with such information. And also personal things.
I see. That is fine. I see that you have his blade.
Yes. He gave it to me, kind of. He always told me that whenever he passed on, that I should take it.
Is he your father, then?
Yes, he is. This is my father. He took care of me.
She nods. Very well. It is only right that you keep the blade.
Thank you.
Were you afraid that we would take it from you?
Yes. I believe this is one of the only things I have of his besides memory. So I obviously would have rescinded if you requested it, but I will say I was battling with that idea for a while.
She will study you for a moment, just kind of looking you over, and says, I am sorry that that is the impression that we have caused. Had I known you sooner, I would have explained. But that is in the past. No harm done.
I didn't expect... I'm not from here, so I did not really know the custom very much. Again, I've only been in Okurai for 6, and I do appreciate your welcome.
Of course.
I just did not want to overstep anything.
You are welcome anytime. You have done much work for the Veil Guard, even though you are not a member. And it is greatly appreciated when others are able to rally to the causes that are needed throughout the city that my Veil Guard cannot always respond to. It is adventurers like yourself who are perhaps the most valuable.
She stands up a little straighter with that. And she will kind of, I guess, smile, to herself and just think of her father.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that since he cared about the Veil Guard, I figured that working and helping you out, and he cared about Okurai, so I figured I would try to follow in that step and care for the people as well as he did. So I'm only continuing his work.
He was a very good soldier.
He was.
I have lived for quite some time, but I remember when he first joined the Veil Guard. And I remember when he retired. And he was always a good man. Strong of heart. Brave. Had I known he had a daughter, I would have called him home sooner.
I kind of popped in when he didn't expect it, so I can't blame him.
Let me guess. And I'm going to roll insight for her. Oh, that's really good. She says, let me guess. He adopted you.
Don't know how you would know that. That's a little... Yes, he did. He was a very patient man, and he found me around, he said, in his estimate, around 10 years old.
You do not smell like him, but he was always one to take in those in need.
He was very kind.
He was.
Is?
Say is.
I'm still not sure of how to speak of the dead once they are gone, so I do apologize.
Speak in whatever way makes you comfortable. Your personal journey with loss is your own.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
Yes. did you call me here also for anything that you needed of me, or just because you happened? I don't know how dragons work. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you just knew that I knew that I knew something or needed something. This has been something that's been in my head, weighing on me for a long time. You see me that I am a strong person. I mean, I'm pretty tall and pretty muscular, but this has been something that has weighed my heart down, and I cannot function properly to my fullest potential because of it.
She will change shape at this point, and the massive dragon form before you shifts into an elderly woman in silver robes. She's got stark white hair that is pulled up into a top knot bun, and she's got like round gold spectacles, and kind of like shimmery tan, almost gold skin. And she is significantly shorter than you in this form. So she shifts into like this elderly woman. She's got a staff that seems to be made of bands of silver and gold. And at the head of the staff is 3 dragon heads, all of different colors, one copper, one gold, one silver, turning in on themselves, basically. Maws open, like they're roaring at one another. And she says, "Sorry, in my natural state, I realize I can be quite intimidating."
Not at all.
I summoned
Sorry.
you to reward you and recognize you for your work. You have been doing work for us for quite some time, and I felt it was past due to let you know that we see you and appreciate you.
Oh. Thank you.
Of course. If you ever have interest in joining the Veil Guard, know that you have an open invitation to do so. But I understand you have another invitation today.
I do. But thank you so much for that offer. I would like to, at some point, explore that a bit. At least to see what it took for my father as well, you know? He loved being in the Veil Guard, and it was one of his highest points of pride. So I know I could be rash, but I guess I could have some technique whipped into me.
She will beam at you. She's just smiling very genuinely, and she says, "Your other invitation most certainly takes precedence, but after such a job, the details of which you will learn soon." In fact, she kind of looks over, and there is a clock on the wall, kind of like one of those wind-up ones. Very rudimentary compared to what we know outside in the real world, because technology is really not much of a thing here. And she says, "It looks like it is nearly time for said meeting, so I will not keep you, but if you ever wish to speak of him or learn more of him, even if you do not join the Veil Guard, you can always ask for an appointment."
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
It is the least I could do.
If you need anything of me, I mean, you already know how to find me, I guess.
Of course. Off you tot. You've got stuff to do,
Right.
as the kids say.
Yes. Thank you again.
Of course.
She'll make her exit.
Yes. And here is where we will pop over to Dayu. It's me, I'm kids. Stuff. You've got stuff to do. What is happening in Skype chat? Am I missing things? Oh, yes, I saw that.
No, nothing. I've been here the whole time.
Yes, you've been here the whole time.
Absolutely, yeah. Never went dark. Never did nothing.
Like a goddamn professional. So I'm gonna hop over to the main map here. And
I'm gonna let you know I still can't see the map, and it's
That's okay.
totally it's totally just a my end thing.
Okay.
Every now and then I refresh it.
If I think if I move you to the map that you will be on shortly, it will you might be able to see it because it's a much smaller map. I think it's just One More Multiverse being silly.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we're close enough to 10 o'clock. Would we like to take a quick break before we get to Dayu's intro? Does that sound good to everybody?
I'm good with it. Y'all want a break?
Okay. Because I don't want to start your intro and then have to take a break since we're getting kind of close to that time. So let's do that.
Yeah.
We are going to take a quick 10, 15, give or take, minute break, and we will be back. everybody. We are back. And things and stuff. So let's get to Let's get to. I know we back and suddenly no music because I did that. I'm just gonna put this on here. So it is time for. I almost said Momo because of your name in frickin' Skype.
I don't.
It begins.
It means dumpling. So like, go ahead.
The chaos.
Call me what you want to call me.
It makes me want to eat momos. I'm going to Toronto this weekend, and I will get momos.
Yeah.
You have to
get
send us pictures.
Actually, wait, if you're going to Toronto this weekend, like I'm there, and I think Charmy's also there.
Wow. I want pictures if you guys meet up. Okay, so let's get into it. It is time for Charmy's camera is...
Oh no, Charmy!
Oh no, Charmy, are we losing Charmy? We lost Charmy.
No.
Oh no.
Return.
That's okay. We will let her reconnect and we will hop in here before we get too squirrely. As we are wont to do on this channel more often than not, so it's quite alright.
I love the attachments, they're so cute.
Okay, so Dayu. Are you good?
Oh my god. Just Toto. In the chat. Just
right,
the hacker voice. I'm in.
Alright, reel it in. Fire. So much fire. Scorched earth and the smell of burning flesh and hair. But that's not quite the worst thing you remember. A beast twice as large as a bear. And flames so hot they blister your skin and singe your hair and fur. Hatred permeating the air, so foul that it began to... Oh, and we get interrupted by a raid. Damn it. The roaming DM, thank you so much for the raid. It came in at a very serious time. A hatred so foul that the surrounding plants, untouched by heat and flame, began to wither away. And flaming red eyes full of hatred. Destruction and loss. Yo, with the Skype chat, please. Make it stop. How do I mute that? I don't want it. You awaken in a cold sweat.
I think I take a bit before actually trying to get up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually pretty similar to how I remember it, where I am paralyzed by fear for a little bit, and so I'm stuck in this little shock state. But I'm in bed.
Yes, you are in bed.
And I'm sweating up a storm, which sucks because the last time we had a character in bed, it was hot as shit. But
oh
not
my
this
god!
Time. No, it's gross. I'm gross. It's sweaty. I'm sweaty, and it takes a very long time for me to focus.
Mm-hmm.
To remember where I'm at and for like time to move forward. At least for me to feel time move forward. Time is clearly moving forward. for me. I am just, unfortunately, I'm scared.
Slowly, the world begins to fill back in for you. Details, solid things, reality. And you are in you're in your makeshift apartment of sorts. It is the storage room beneath the temple of Aluna Seren, also known as the Star. And dying embers in the hearth nearby are warming this typically rather cold room, yet it is yours. You prefer it this way. And you throw off the covers and get up. You remember today is the day that you go to the Setesk.
I think now that you've mentioned that I have a little fireplace going on here,
Yes.
I think that really helped me stay in shock for a little bit.
Yeah.
As you can hear the crackle. It's
Yes.
dry wood cracks, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
As I hear the occasional crack of it. But I'll get up. I might even lie on the floor a little bit to feel not gross.
Yeah. Some floor time is always good.
Yeah, floor time is always good, especially when it's like I'm underneath the temple. It's cold here, and as of now, I'm a little too hot and not the good kind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, on the floor for a bit before actually getting up. And when I do, are there spirits nearby?
There are indeed. A couple, besides the usual. There is a... you don't tend to know their names. They don't often remember their names, unless they are recently deceased. Off in the corner is a little boy who has like an ethereal kind of fire poker and is poking at the coals, but it's obviously not affecting the physical realm. Just kind of hanging out and sitting on one of the crates overlooking your bed is a young woman who's dressed rather tomboyishly, human woman, who is kind of looking down over you and says, "You are having a nightmare. Are you all right?"
Oh no, I'm not, but I will be. I don't have those usually. But that's all right. These are new things, and I can get used to new things. How are you? How was your afterlife?
She jumps down from where she's sitting on the crate and de-apparates and reapparates standing on the floor next to you. Little wisps of spiritual energy kind of trail from one location to the next as she kind of teleports over to be closer to you, as the little boy continues to poke ineffectively at the fire, trying to get it to start again, and wordlessly doing so. She says, "Oh, it's just grand. What's up with the green lights outside?"
Why, I don't know. I don't think they're usually supposed to be green. Maybe everyone's trying a change today. Also, I have no windows in here.
There is a single window near the area where you eat. It's kind of like a ground level, like tiny window.
my ear twitches and I go, I lied. There is a window here.
Sorry,
And,
it's not clear on the map.
it's okay. I think I'll hop on over and try and look out the window and is that fire green?
So outside you can see one lantern that is near the base of the Temple of Night, and it is indeed a green flame in that lantern, which is weird.
I think I quite like it green now.
Kinda
I
spooky.
like green. Green's such a good, a little bit ominous, but green is good. Green is like, what's green? Green is like the tea leaves and the grass, and she just starts like kind of rambling a bunch of things because she's still not really here, if that makes sense, right? So this is like her way to comfort herself. And while she's doing that, she's basically making biscuits with her hands like this.
Yeah.
And then green does this, and green is the color of jade, and and sometimes the rest of you are all green when I use magic. So look at that. Look, green is good.
So you are over here by the area with the window. There's some crates. And actually, typically there would be moonlight streaming through, but you know that it is a new moon. And you turn to the table that you normally eat at when you are home. And you find that there is a little pot of soup that is covered. There's a little covered basket and a plate of cookies that have been left for you. Probably by one of the other priestesses to make sure that you get a meal.
Oh, that's so nice. And I'm assuming the soup is cold right now.
Yeah,
because it's been out for a bit.
Yep. You surmise, though you do not have a clock down here, you surmise that you may have slept in a little bit.
Well, I had a bad sleep, so they can't be upset at me if I had a bad sleep and need some time for myself, because I can't help people if I can't help myself. Yes. And she's like, she just says this as she like picks up the hot soup. We're gonna go to the fire, we're gonna warm it.
Yep.
And she'll kind of get back into this mode that she's accustomed to, which is like cleaning up her place a little bit while setting the table, while like getting herself a little bit ready. It's kind of like that good old college go, where you're kind of doing three things at once. So she's like, yeah, here's hygiene stuff, but the soup is getting warm. But I'm also taking out like bowls, one bowl for myself, one bowl for my sister, and like there's a couple bowls, and I don't want them to feel left out because there's like at least two spirits here. So like, pop, right? And technically all the soup will go to me, but like it's still it's the thought that counts. So I set the table for like 4. I go get dressed. Halfway through, then I go finish cleaning or fixing my bed, and then I go get dressed the rest of the way through. Yeah. It's one of those. It's a little messy. It's a little scattered, but like it's good.
Yeah. When you go to the hearth to begin warming the soup, the little boy kind of scuttles out of the way and vanishes. And once you're done getting ready, and you begin setting the table, he reappears near the plate of cookies and is just kind of poking at it. And he says, I was good and I didn't make noise. Can I have a cookie?
Yes, you can have a cookie.
Oh, thank you, nice lady. And he points to the the woman who apparated, the human woman who apparated, maybe in her late 20s. Just kind of, he points to the woman and he says, she said we can't eat. Is that true?
That is true. It's not going to be the same, but do you remember what this cookie tastes like? Or do you remember what cookies taste like at all?
He thinks for a second, and he says, yeah, I think so. They were, they're kind of sweet, I think. Right? Cookies are sweet?
They're sweet. Sometimes they're warm. Do you like warm cookies?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This one is nice and it's warm, and there's chocolate in it. And the chocolate is not too sweet, though, because too sweet chocolate makes your teeth hurt. So your teeth don't hurt at all when you bite into this. And it's nice and it's warm and it kind of melts a little in your mouth. And it makes you feel really, really good.
Oh.
And you feel full.
Oh, wow. We'll say he's this little blue sprite. The girl is pink. And this purple one is your sister who has apparated. So Mei Lin is seated at the table, looking rather pensively over at the other spirits and you interacting with them. She doesn't seem like jealous or anything by any means, but she's just kind of observing right now. She hasn't said anything to you quite yet. She does that sometimes. Sometimes she's rather silent, and sometimes she talks way too damn much.
Mm-hmm. And does she look any different this time? Because, like, sometimes I just see, like, footprints. And then other times it's like, oh, that's a whole person.
Yeah.
So...
She tends to look pretty similar to how you last saw her alive. Probably a little bit before that, before the injuries and all of that. She seems rather pristine. Probably, before she sustained any injuries or anything like that. So she just looks like a semi-transparent version of how you remember her best. At her best, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Them definitely in those really nice, like, high priestess garments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And for more visual reference, we're twins.
Yes.
So it just looks like another Dayu, except Balin's hair is probably a lot more on the silver side.
Mm-hmm.
Haha, silver hair, get it?
Yep. Yep. Her hair is it's probably the reverse of yours, I imagine, like silver hair with black streaks rather than black with silver. And she's got ears that are a little bit more petite looking than yours, but and only slightly, like maybe an inch or two. And other than that, she looks exactly like a reflection of you, but she is wearing beautiful robes that, if there were any color to her, you remember them being this beautiful deep purple with black and gold trim, I should say, and painted in like ceremonial kind of face paint on her forehead is the symbol of the star, which is the triangle pointing upwards with little bolts on either side coming off of it. And you remember that before she died, she was about to undertake a special kind of training before that fateful day. And she looks precisely the way she did before what happened. And the little boy is just kind of babbling about cookies, while the young woman is kind of posted up against the barrels, or rather the crates, I should say. There's quite a lot. There's also food storage nearby, and a large barrel that has water in it that's for your use. And another one.
And I have used it. Yes.
Yes. And so the woman has not sat down at the table, though she is looking at the plate that you set for her. And the little boy is just kind of babbling about wanting a cookie because he's small. He's maybe 6 years old.
Mm-hmm. I basically just allow the boy to have as many cookies as he wants. It's not like it's not really much for me, considering that they're all still gonna be there. But like I'm okay with basically stuffing this kid up with as many metaphorical cookies as his little heart can take.
Yeah, as you kind of walk him through, reminding him of what they feel like, what they taste like. Are they crunchy? Are they soft? Are they warm? Are they sweet? Are they crumbly? You know, he moves to pick one up, and in his hand is like a little ethereal kind of imitation of a cookie. Just by the energy of him manifesting wanting that cookie has like a little ethereal one. Of course, it doesn't do anything for him. He's a spirit. But he just kind of nibbles on it, and he says, "Oh, this tastes really good." And you can tell that he's just acting because he can't eat.
Yeah. He's
trying his best.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make him like remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that, like, you know, so that way it kind of, it's not gonna fill you up, but it's gonna hopefully fill that void.
Yeah, he seems really happy. Just kind of, you know, being reminded of happy memories of his life. And he seems in a very good place, in a good mood.
I'll look over at the woman and just go, "Is there anything you want to eat?"
Not really. I've been here such a long time. I kind of lost the novelty of it all.
Well, I have stuff to do that I'm currently not doing. Do you want to come?
The little boy pipes up and says, "I'll go."
Okay, that's 1. That's 2, and then I count my sister as well. Technically, my sister's 1, and this little boy is 2.
Yeah.
But 1, that's
right.
2, and then I point over to Ghost Woman.
She kind of shrugs and goes, "I got nothing better to do. Let's go."
Awesome. I can't tell time. I better eat this fast. And I chow down. I chow down. I slurp up this soup very, very quickly, as quick as I can without making a mess. If that's possible.
Yeah, no problem. You absolutely can do that.
And then once everybody's kind of like done, and by everybody I really just mean me, I grab my bags that are filled with all of my things, especially my cards and stuff, and I make like this hand motion, and it's so whatever like form that they took, all the spirits took, they're now little wisps of like balls of light, pink light, soft pink, specifically, and they'll float around me. I'm not sure if they're I am never sure if they're actually visible to people or not, but it's more so like this is like the easiest way to take spirits with me wherever I go without like, you know, the ones who choose to follow especially, but you know, without like, I don't know, putting them in a bottle. Link. That's okay.
That's okay.
I can't take like all of the green. Find a rupee.
Yes.
Make noises. I don't know.
There's some pots down an alleyway you need to break. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Mech45, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Holy crap. Thank you so much. And thank you, Fuzka, for the raid. Yeah, there's some clay pots down the alleyway on your way, and you get some rupees out of that. Just, no,
I poke it a little bit.
Rupees are not the currency here. It's just gold, silver, platinum. and gems, but I guess rupees are gems, aren't they? So
Technically,
maybe we'll see. Yeah, you kind of travel along. Are you looking to see if anyone notices your little spirit entourage?
Yeah, actually. And I forgot. I also grabbed my Pippa, which is it's basically just like a little guitar. If you've ever seen it's a little Chinese guitar is the best way to put it. Yeah, it's pear shaped or squash shaped. They're really fun to look at.
Yeah.
And they're really light and easy to carry, and I will tune it as I walk. And by tune it, I mean like just turn it every now and then. The way it sounds is good no matter what.
Awesome. Yeah, give me a perception check to see if anybody's looking at you weird. See if there's any like, oh my god, what is floating around this lady?
Yes, perception. I need a calculator because I refuse to do math. I looked at the numbers and I was like, those sure are digits.
What a mood.
That's not the right number. That's not the right number. We're playing D&D. That's not the right modifier I'm looking at. Okay, 26. Thank you.
Perfect. Goddamn, 26. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 on the die. I don't know why I couldn't just look at I saw the 7. I was like, I don't know how to add. I do, but
I honestly same. So you look about and first of all, there doesn't really seem to be anybody on this street, you realize. This particular street near the temple, although, it's kind of, we'll say it's a little bit before midday. You realize when you exit, obviously, day is not really very operative term because it is always nighttime here. But in terms of like the typically observed sleep cycle in the Vale of Night, it's the equivalent of noon, almost about quarter to noon as you're heading up to the Setesk. And speaking of your invitation to go to the Setesk, how does now that Dayu is a little bit more awake and moving about, how does she feel about getting this invitation?
Conflicted, because there's Dayu knows that she could be doing a better job as a priestess, but there's also like, but I'm doing the job. I'm doing good, I think. And so she's not sure if they're calling to like, scold her or worse, or if they're calling to give her more work because she feels like she's doing so much already. Mm-hmm. She's not particularly like stressed or anything. It's just sort of like, like the quiet mumbling you do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like okay, maybe not, maybe it could be good, it could be not good. Just one of those things. Walking around, like, doing my thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's weird. Maybe it's not weird. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. Maybe I'm gonna get exiled. I don't know, but who knows?
Exile could be nice, we try to do that positive spin on everything after like the massive amounts of moping. I just like exile could be nice. I know. I mean, it was really nice here. It's super green here, but it could be green elsewhere. I'll back at it again with that green. Just talking to herself.
I love this so much. It's a sabbatical. Yeah, it's not an exile. It's a sabbatical. Perfect.
And which is somehow like all of this self-talking that she's doing, which is not really self-talking. It probably looks like that because she's more so always talking to the spirits, whether or not they know is like that's in the air. Okay, like oops, right? But it for sure her any like outside noise, like I don't know, that I don't know, stick snapping when you step on it or something like that, or somebody's doors jangle a little bit, the ears twitch to the sound, like to
little
the
satellites
general
just kind of
yeah, like just it's Dayu's bunny. So prey animals gotta pray.
Yep.
And when we're not praying religiously, we're praying for our lives. So, it's just, one of those things.
What a
Signs
mood.
indicate one of those.
Yeah. So you walk through the streets of Okurai. It's pretty quiet, although as you get to more populated areas of the city, away from the Temple of Night, you hear people kind of chit-chatting in the streets. Like, you can hear really well, so I'm not going to make you roll for it. Your passive perception is incredible. Basically, you hear murmurings of some people saying, "Oh my god, it must be some kind of fell spirit making all the lights green," or "No, it's just a stupid prank," or "No, the city's under attack, we have to tell the guard," blah blah blah. Like, some people are really overreacting to the fact that the lights are now green, and other people are like, "Nah, this is just another Tuesday. I feel like somebody's up to something, goofy." So a lot of conflicting opinions there, but certain people are abuzz as now, at this point, the entire city has green lights, and there are some confused Veil Guard walking around trying to figure out how to make it not green. And they're not quite sure what to do with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that does stand out to you a little bit, because that is not a normal occurrence.
It's not, but I'm already. I had a morning. I had a morning, so I'm choosing to not jump on the "oh, we're gonna die" train, and instead jump on the I like green. I kind of like this mood light. It's always misty here, so why is everybody upset at the green lights and not upset at the constant veil of mist hiding all the attackers at once? I'm saying this. I'm like, but I'm mumbling it. But the hands are talking, like the veil. Why people have issues with the green stuff? People will attack us. It's one of. I look radiant, I should say. But I'm the kind of person that you might want to part ways a little bit, because I'm constantly talking. If you've ever played Little Miss Fortune,
oh my god,
and she doesn't shut up,
yeah,
it's me. I love her, but it's Dayu right now.
You notice some people in the street that you pass by just kind of part to get out of your way, because you're walking around and mumbling to yourself and making gestures as you talk to yourself, and people are just like, "Oh, she's a little weird." Nobody actually says anything, but you definitely get looks sometimes, and that stands out to you, and you're just like, well, whatever. They're just not used to seeing someone like me, and it's fine. But just kind of get out of your way as you head towards the center of the city and approach the Setesk, which I will, to bring everybody back in together, is a large kind of, you imagine the inner sanctum of the Setesk is shaped differently, but the outer walls are rounded, and it seems to have really heavy security. There are heavily armed Veil Guards at the entrance to the Setesk. The walls are rather high. It is I wouldn't call it a massive building, but it's big like a temple would be big, rather than a simple home. It's larger than the Veil Guard headquarters is. And you approach the gates. Now, here's where we tie everybody in together. We'll say the first person to have arrived was Synarch. You are standing in a waiting room, and there's a guard standing outside the door. The door is open, so you'll be able to see whoever walks in next. You're just you were told to make yourself comfortable and given the option of having tea or water or something like that while you wait for everyone to arrive, and that is when you learn that you're not the only one being summoned here today. So let's pull everybody Oh, not the spooky music. Don't want that. Do. Yeah, this is fine. So here's where, oh my god, you guys have like giant icons now because I made you bigger for the other maps. Scaling, so fun. Now you really are giant women. It's funny. Stop running around, I'm trying to fix you.
Aurora's too small now.
Oh no. Okay. You wanted spooky music? Well, you know, we're not in spooky, scary dream time. I don't want to, mess with the vibes. The music is going to change again shortly anyway. So Sinark, you are the first one to enter this waiting room, kind of antechamber area. There are little cushions on the ground for you to sit upon. No good places to hide except maybe up in the rafters. And on the other side of the room from the door you entered through is a set of double, kind of like the screen doors with the paper in the frame. I don't remember what the name of that is right off the top of my head right now. With like various designs of like vines and stones and kind of like a almost Stonehenge type design almost, and various glyphs on the doors themselves.
Sinark has decided that if this is her punishment and they put him in a waiting room to like sweat him out first, he's gonna change the vibe.
Okay.
So he takes off his like hood and shawl, and then he's got like a variety of necklaces that he just sort of like shunts off for a second. Like he pulls off a couple of like strappy belts that he's been hiding knives in under the shawl too. And then out of his pack he gets out like a nicer shirt and like tears off his shirt, and Sinark's got like fur, top surgery scars, fur, and then like just really quick like puts another shirt on and puts like the belts back on, and it's like a nicer shirt. It smells nicer. It's got like little like golden threaded filigree and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
And instead of like his like black shawl, now he's got like a white shawl on, and like it's just like it's for the contrast for like his like darker fur.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sinark is a black jaguar tabaxi.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got like the deep brown, like almost black fur with like the black spots. It's very cool. I really love Mandy's art of Sinark, guys. And then he's definitely like, all right, I'm gonna look really good. Like shunts all these like necklaces back on under the shawl, and then it's just like packs them in so no one can see them, like make sure that the daggers don't really show that well, and he's like, all right, looking good. Like the whole time he's like facing away from the door, so if anyone catches him like mid change, like he doesn't really care. It's like a vibe. It's like whatever. It's like I'm just me,
Right. Absolutely. So you don't hide. You're not hiding anywhere. You change into a different shirt. Since nobody else is here and the guards aren't watching you, just kind of change real quick. Okay.
If there's anything like expensive looking in here that's small, I'll like try to slip that into the shop.
I will say the tea set that has been placed on the table in the middle of the room looks pretty expensive. Some of the spoons look like they might be made of gold. And the china that is being used to serve the tea is also pretty fancy.
Just like
fancy spoons.
Carefully steals fancy spoons.
You realize that on the serving tray there are 4 other cups that are just like stacked, and so there are enough spoons for 5 people.
Yeah, he's gonna take 4 of them, put them in, and just be like, "Wow, this place is going downhill." I don't know why they can't give us enough spoons. And it's gonna start serving the tea actually.
Of course.
For people so they don't notice too fast.
Oh, I love this for you so much.
Just so you know, Alyssa, Sin's here to be punished all the time. Actually, no, I'm joking. I'm so sorry.
I love it so much. Oh my god. Okay, so you steal the spoons. It begins. Yes, this is. We got through the serious part, everybody. Now we're moving on to the shenanigans, which I am fully here for. So you serve out. You dole out the tea. Serving the tea, if you will, for your yet unseen fellow compatriots. Fellow guests, as it were. The next person to enter the room is actually Nikita.
Oh, now I know I'm being punished. I know Nikita's been on my fucking trail.
Yep.
I'm just like, hey, you! Hi!
Right, you. How are you doing?
Your friendly lamplighter mentor. I'm doing fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Why are you here?
Oh, I got this invitation because I am important.
Apparently I am too.
Oh, I could have told you that, darling.
I know that, thank you. Anyway. She's like put off by it a little bit. Not that put off, but she's like taken aback by like the very like laying it thick kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not used to getting flirted with very much outside of, you know, like the bathhouse and stuff.
Yeah, well,
So.
like Nikita just like slapped it down, so it's fine. But Sin's still smiling.
Right. I would expect you to be here for something else completely. I thought you would probably be, I don't know, trying to put the stink bomb or something in here.
Oh, that's childish, Nikita. You wound me. Yeah, it's you know, my bleeding heart all over the floor.
I've never been able to prove it, but one day I will.
Oh boy.
They say that proof is the basis of evidence, dear. What I can prove for you is that I have a wonderfully charming smile. I'm glad that you're here. I bet that we're the most important people in the Vale. And like he gestures down at the table as if he had put out this spread, as if he was in charge of it. Some tea.
How generous! Thank you. Is there like seating around here? Like that, like would it be like maybe a little too like small or something? She's big. I don't know.
So what you see in this room, in the center of the room, is like a low set, kind of like serving table, and there are floor cushions all around said table, and Sinark is already, I presume, sitting probably at the head of said table. I imagine is where they would seat themselves.
I'll stand, thank you.
I think Sin.
I'm just dying in chat right now. I literally cannot.
I think Sin straight up laughs when Nikita says that, and it's just like, I think that you're fantastic.
I think you're small.
Yeah, I am. It's one of my charms. I'm very liftable.
Very liftable.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what? I bet you could bench press me.
I don't think that's a bet that is needed.
Damn.
Who are you voting for here? I know I'll do it.
Of course you will. Like, Sin is obviously, like, trying to goad you. I think, like, he is not hiding any, like, the way that he's coming off, though, and I don't think he's trying to hide this, is a very, like, friendly manner. Like, he doesn't believe that any flirtation is gonna go anywhere. He is just simply being a little gremlin, and is trying to get some amusement out of the situation now that Nikita is here. And it's just, he's kind of like a little bastard. He's a little silly bastard man.
I think Nikita's writing that. She's having a little bit of fun with it at the same time, but I feel like she's kind of like, in her mind, I guess the most simplistic terms, she's playing with her food.
I love that on so many levels.
Oh.
It's at this moment that Revelation walks into the room.
I think that Revelation comes in, clocks whatever the fuck is going on between these two, and starts to just like back off and stand in a corner, but then the curiosity gets the better of them. So they walk over to Sin and sort of hiss. Wait, I thought that this was just for me. Did you do something? Is this a job?
I thought that it was a job.
I was kind of hoping it was a job. You thought this was just for you?
Why would they invite you? I mean, no offense.
Full offense, but fair. Very fair. Like, I totally understand where you're coming from. Still a little heartbroken. You wouldn't be happy to see me. Tea?
Would I recognize Rev at all?
I know Sin and Rev know each other. I don't know. Would you so Nikita does a lot of work around the city. Rev, do you think you might have seen Nikita at some point in time, working around, given that you also work around the city as a druid?
Yeah, we've probably at least crossed paths, like, on sort of different jobs.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think she's just going to stay quiet and watch for a little bit, though. Arms crossed against the wall. Or I guess, like, near the table, I guess, a little bit.
Revelation, how do you feel about the fact that this isn't just for you?
I think that there's both, like, this sharp tinge of hurt that, like, it should be just for me. Why are other people invited? But also curiosity, because this is such a strange assembly, and, I mean, Sin, and I guess I can see why you invite her, this tall woman, but...
So the saltiness is almost in full swing, just not outwardly visible necessarily. Is what I'm hearing here. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Very shortly after this interaction is when Aurora walks in. Actually, Aurora, I want to hear. So, like, we've heard about, I think, almost everybody else's outfits, maybe not Nikita's, so we can get to that in a moment, but what outfit did you choose, Aurora?
Oh, yes. Okay, so all of Aurora's outfits are in the blue, silver, gray color family, and so she probably, like, came in from the Constellation Lounge wearing something, like, a little bit more revealing and bedazzled, and she's changed into something a little bit more subdued, so like a kind of a dusty blue, but still, it's off the shoulder, has a slit up to the thigh, like she's not going off of her style.
Fancy.
Nice.
So in walks a woman who, Nikita, you may not have met necessarily, but bears a striking resemblance to Captain Nova Incineratus.
Would I also recognize her from the places I frequent?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you-
Given that you frequent both the bathhouse and the Constellation Lounge, yeah, you probably have run into Aurora at some point during various nights of revelry.
I feel like Aurora walks in, kind of takes in Nikita first, and like grins and like maybe like throws her a little wink, and then turns and sees Sin and is like, "Oh hey."
Like, oops.
Since like, you never look at me like that anymore.
I'm sorry, darling. It's just when there's something new to look at, I can't help but to be drawn towards it.
You need the shiny.
No, I understand completely.
Oh my god.
And he just sort of like winks and laughs and is like, all right, this is definitely an interesting group.
So, do you know what we're going to be doing? Has anybody given you any clues before I showed up?
Rev and Nikita think it's a job.
Yeah, it's probably a job.
Oh, that or we're all being punished.
Doubtful.
I don't know for what. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, my mother just would have punished me. She wouldn't send me here for it.
Right, I usually do punishing. I don't punish. I don't get punished, I mean.
I think Sin just sort of like just tenses his fingers and looks down to the side towards Rev and is like,
Yeah, Rev catches your eye, and like we're on the same wavelength.
The
I
look
have a
of
question.
excitement. Yes.
For Nikita.
Oh.
What kind of weapon do you carry? Like, are you carrying a weapon that's visible to us?
Yeah, you could probably see it like kind of like behind my back a bit too. It's a large like great sword type thing, and the hilt is very like ornate, and it has like a little wolf crest on it. It's kind of like etched in it. And yeah.
After about like maybe 30 seconds of checking you out, Aurora just goes, "Nice sword."
Thank you.
Is it big enough for you, Aurora?
Almost.
She kind of like locks eyes with you for like a second longer, and then he kind of just looks away and looks at Rev and Sin, tries to like actively like look away from you.
I love it. Actually, Nikita, what is the get up today? Are you wearing
Right.
Are you wearing your usual mask? Are you wearing the veil? Are you wearing like what are you wearing?
I think
today?
I'm wearing my mask, but I'm really debating whether or not I have it. I think I'm gonna have it on.
Okay.
And usual getup, just her like kind of halter crop thing, like abs out situation.
Mm-hmm.
But she has like really loose like dancer pants, and she has like bracers of fur and things to keep her kind of warm. But she doesn't really care too much about like the cold. Yeah, it's like a black and purple, like grade purple ombre, kind of like deal with her outfit. And boots.
Chat is thirsting over Nikita already. I'm excited for the fan fiction that will come from this. And it is after the nice sword comment that Dayu strolls into the room. And I feel like we didn't really get like the best description for Dayu. So what does everybody see when she walks into the room?
You're muted.
Oh yeah, you're muted.
It's a good thing we don't have like the closed caption on, because the shit I've been saying, we'd be not Twitch friendly. So
Saucy.
God, what do you see when Dayu walks in? The top part is clearly the overcoat is that of a priestess in general, though it might be like it's sort of like it mimics the priestess's uniform, but it's in brighter colors. So it's not necessarily like you can pinpoint what who she belongs to, but it's just very nice. And everything else from the lower part clearly dictates a bit of a mismatch in where she could be from. But what you do notice is that she's wearing shorts, and the rest of her legs are, it's like black fur, one of those digitigrated legs where it kind of pops up like that. It's rabbit feet, best way to put it. And she's very leggy for the sole purpose of, have you ever seen rabbit feet extended?
Yeah.
The hell? I thought they were like flip-flop, but no, they're apparently like 80% leg. So she's 80% leg too, I guess. No, please don't do anything about that, because you're not gonna like the fact that her breasts bounce boobily either. Her hair is black with these streaks of silver or white, and she has very, very big rabbit ears that also have this silver to black ombre going on. And she's holding her Pippa like this, like she's holding a child. She's got all these extra little bags around. Kind of, instead of walking, it's like there is a natural skip in her step. And the minute she sees more people, she goes, yes, not an execution, unless we're all in big trouble, but we can't be. And then I look at Sin and I go, but we could be.
Hey, see, I'm not the only one.
Have you done something meriting execution lately?
Never, but you don't know what these old fogies are gonna get upset about.
If they're going to execute you, it won't be today.
Exactly. I'll get a proper trial. The children of Okurai will riot and overturn the government. It'll be great. Good shakeup.
Am I supposed to be the executioner? Oh, go ahead.
I forgot one more thing. The closer Dayu gets, you'll notice she's got these light greenish, bluish face paint. Some that mimic whiskers, like 3 going upwards, and then there's a bit going on the forehead area, but it's covered by bangs. But like if it was showing, it would be a bit more indicative of who she's a priestess of. Other than that, she's standing like this, looking at all of y'all very happily, and then going, respectfully, I'm not gonna say what I want to say.
I mean, now I want to know.
And then she does this. No, you don't.
This is definitely I do.
Later.
Is it a compliment?
It's a compliment. It's just, I don't know y'all like that yet.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Dayu, you know me. We're trading friends.
We are. I found some other stuff. If you want to take a look at it later.
Oh, you're gonna like this. I found a petrified lizard. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would like that a lot. I have seashells, but like the ones that aren't broken. And like, just slowly, 1 second.
Are we all voting at the poll?
Slowly, she like just pulls up her, like, goes into one of like the many pouches that she like wears. And they're like those really fun like leg bags actually. And she'll pull out like this little jar and just shake it a little bit and just go. They're good. They're really good.
Oh, the lizards, and I think Sid just stands up and just like walks around and is just and reaches into his bag because he is also a gremlin and just pulls out like a large petrified lizard that's just like.
How many can I get for that? I have like 6 in here because like I did a favor and I have like 6 in here. but like, I don't know. That's a really big lizard. Could I just like have the feet?
You can
Is
have
this
the whole
enough for the
thing if I can
feet?
have those, because I want to give 2 each. I'll
Two
just trade
each?
it here.
Okay, yeah, and we just start trading. Straight up, yeah. We just start trading. We like give each other stuff. And if you wanted like the whole thing, and I get the whole thing of the lizard, then like you get a cute little jar of seashells, and I just go, and I know where to get more, but like you gotta wait because like, supply.
Yeah, and demand. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, oh, I got you. Whispers, I got you.
My
I have no
God.
idea if I picked up.
This poll is wild right now. I'm just watching the results while y'all are talking, and it's so good.
Revelation has been watching this exchange and is fully convinced that there's some sort of secret messaging going on here and is trying to catch it.
Can you roll insight, and can I roll deception if I notice this?
Yes. Do it.
So I rolled a 17 plus my deception, which is an amount.
Okay, I've got a 21 total.
Oh, I got a 23, baby.
No!
I am going like if Sin noticing this, it starts like saying random phrases to Dayu because he's convinced that Dayu's not going to say anything about it. But in a way that is convincing Rev that Sin is like trading like stolen items to Dayu.
Can I roll perception to pick up on this?
Yes, of course, please. I rolled a 23 in
Yep.
perception. You have amazing perception, so I can't
Go
wait
for it,
to
yeah.
see you beat it.
Nat 20, so
Yeah,
Yes,
so,
first
so
nat
yeah.
20 of the campaign! Hey!
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew. Let's get
Pick
some
up
nat 20s
Sin
in the
is
chat if you
trying
follow
to
the
rank-
channel. You can use that emote. Also, Dayu won the thirst,
yeah. It was
The thirst
titties,
poll.
wasn't it?
Breast and boobily, baby.
you won by 11 votes. You got
Ooh.
28% of the vote.
Hey.
Dayu is the top thirst quencher. Nikita, so
The quencher.
Dayu got 33 votes, Nikita got 22, Aurora got 21, Sin got 20, and Rev also got 20.
This is
Party's
pretty
just
close,
hot.
and then Aurora, and then Dayu.
If we could have written in Irgun, though, would have all been over.
Yeah,
Chat
true.
wants uppies from Nikita. That's pretty
Oh.
clear. Um,
Sin wants up. He's
Oh,
like, he
what?
was trying for it. Like, he was
Clearly.
trying to, like...
and it
So
begins.
Dayu knows that Sin is trying to mess with,
Yeah.
Rev right now.
Yes.
A one, Dayu's ear flips up, and she thinks, and she mumbles to herself, "I want uppies too." And then goes and then looks over at Sin and also starts blabbing in like random. She may in fact just say random words in like the many different languages she speaks. So if you understand, like I don't know, like.
Oh, I just
Like-
love it.
Yeah, like if you understand, like I don't know, like freaking undercommon, she at some point she just goes, "The waffles today."
The waffles today.
Seahorse. Seahorse. Horse crab. Seahorse.
Mhm.
Underground.
Dirt water.
Overground. Dirt water. Dirt
Mhm.
water.
It's
Oh my god. I love this so much. Oh my god. So many bits.
Oh my god.
So you all have some tea and you have great fun messing with Rev. And after a few minutes, after Dayu arrives, since she is the last party member to arrive on the scene, eventually a guard exits the sliding door on the other end of the room that has been closed up until this point. Aurora, you actually see that it is your mother who opens the door.
I will almost say mom and stop myself right in time.
She doesn't look directly at you, but you can tell she clocks you, and just kind of like looks like sweeping looks across the group of you in the room, and says, the council will see you now. Right this way.
Sin tries to hide behind Nikita, so like does it, trying to be like super like just please don't look at me, because I feel like if Nova is the second in command, Sin and Nova probably know each other a little bit better than Sin would prefer.
Yeah, her gaze definitely lingered on you for a second when she clocked that you were here, Sin. Basically, so what the rest of you see is probably like an older, more mature, wizened looking version of Aurora, except Shari, you gave me like free reign to design her, right? Okay.
100%.
She also is a fire genasi, everybody in the Incineratus clan is, but she's got like you know how like when someone has a fro, but it's like pulled back so that it's like a ponytail kind of like poof? It's like that, like bigger than yours, and also a flame. Very much in a similar style to yours, but she doesn't have the braids that you do. And
she's fire colored.
she is regular fire colored, so like reds and oranges, not blue.
Not green.
Not green, not blue.
God damn.
But
Damn.
like reds and oranges. So in that way, if you didn't look too closely at the facial features, you almost wouldn't think that Aurora and Nova were related. Because the color palette is so different. She's got very like stark steel sort of armor, heavy plate armor, and the insignia of the Veil Guard on the front, which is the open claw of a dragon. Which makes a lot more sense to you now, Nikita. You always wondered what that symbol actually meant, and now you know. And you are Fuego Uppies. God damn it. I look at chat at the worst possible time. I'm trying to be serious, you guys. You're making it real hard for me. But she yeah, right. Caliente Uppies. Muy caliente. So she just kind of motions you into the next room, which is kind of like a darkened kind of space. Who goes first?
Dips.
Oh, we were like...
So everybody raise their hand. You all start going at the same time and walk into each other.
No, listen, like, Sin
Three
wants
Stooges
this
style.
over with. Sin does not want to be in the same room as Nova, because he's gonna get caught for something that he's done. He is, like, fully, like, trying to, like, book it past before anyone can make any fucking comments.
Yeah, Nikita's just walking in straight.
Same. Darius pretty limber, honestly. So it's no, and it's not. It's not a sexual thing.
I'm sorry.
I
You ruined me already.
You said it like that.
Session 1 and you ruined me already.
We are dexterous. Remember, rabbits.
Yes, fast
Okay.
bunny. Yes.
Yeah,
Bunny
So
go
it's like y'all may, unless y'all are purposely going fast, Darius just gonna literally go whoop, like just like turn, like, like freaking liquid, bam, okay, in front of you, gone like that.
just kind of
Yes.
weaves through everyone to get to the front.
How tall is she again?
On a good day,
Uh,
she's about 5'2", 5'3".
Yes.
And today wasn't that great of a day, honestly, and the start wasn't that good, so like 5'1", 5'2". Legs
think
are
I
a
have-
little bit more
yes.
bent than usual. Yeah,
5'3", including the ears or not including the ears?
not including the ears.
Not including. So 5'3" without the ears. The ears are probably a good extra foot.
Sin is 5 foot tall.
Yes. For the folks at home, Nikita is 6'3", and Rev
Yes.
is 5'9". Yes, I recorded the heights that you gave me during session 0.
Aurora is also 5'3", so
Oh
Short
yes,
clip.
yes. I thought did I not say? I'm so sorry.
oh, Maybe that was me.
Yes, 5-3. For some reason I thought Dayu was the first page in my notes, and no, it's Aurora. But yes, you are all ushered into the next room. Sin and Dayu leading the charge, getting the fuck out of the same room as Nova. I'm trying not to sneeze right now, holy crap.
That's why Aurora's bringing up the rear. She's just like, did you know this whole time you were going to escort us in here, or...
She shakes her head no, she did not.
Okay. Later.
I will be outside. And she will shut the door behind all of you. And you are essentially ushered into a large, darkened room. Aurora, you are familiar. Actually, Nikita is as well. Anyone who has met or kind of made requests to the Caligo Scire has seen this room. It is generally where citizens are summoned or allowed to visit to make requests of the council, to basically, make their desires known, so that the council may work on those things. And it's a lot darker in here than it usually is. Very minimal lighting in here. And it's kind of like a longer, rectangular room. And on the sides of the walkway that you are ushered across, where there is like a, not quite a tatami mat type situation, but similar. There are raised daises on the side. There are 4 on the sides and 1 raised dais at the end of this walkway. You can see that there is a figure sitting at the top of each dais. And each is kind of backlit by lanterns that are not green, because the lantern lighters aren't allowed in here. But there are also braziers in the room with very low flames in them, so it's dim. You can see well enough, but it's usually brighter in here, probably for more like formal meetings and such, to make people more comfortable when they enter this space. But right now it seems kind of like default dark setting. So what you see as you enter this rather surprisingly plain, it's not very ornate, like there's not really art on the walls, there's only art on the sliding doors. But directly to your right, when you enter, you see a masculine-looking drow gentleman sitting atop the dais. Directly to your left is a woman who looks like a kitsune. She's got fox ears and very sharp features, and a variety of tails kind of wreathing her form, her seated form. The next row of people, on the right, on the other side of the drow, is a rather bulky-looking half-orc gentleman. And then across from him is a very lithe, dancer-like looking wood elf. Each of them has a staff that is kind of like posted up, like leaned up next to them. It's a little dark in here to see the details unless anyone is very specifically looking. And seated at the end is a spindly, tall, kind of thin looking tiefling individual with horns that kind of curl back like ram's horns. And curl forward again, almost like in front of the the forehead. So like very curled and almost like in front of the face. A golden tiefling, who you know is Melon Reflection. They are the overseer of the Caligo Scire. They are the one who tends to break ties in the votes, and they are the one who has final say on what does and does not happen in the city.
Being the type of person that Sin is, which for the audience is someone who constantly tries to get a hold of druidic secrets, even though Sin is a rogue. Also a little shit, yes. Does he know any of the other names of these people?
Yes, everybody does. So, the drow individual is known as the Head, or Emily Azith. I'll share the names with you in chat after game, so you have the spellings and such. He uses he, they pronouns, and is they're all druids, is a drow of the Circle of Dreams. And his title is the Head. The Fox Shifter woman is June Brightflame, and her title is the Heart. The gray, more like a gray skin than a green half orc. His name is so June Brightflame is she, her pronouns. The half-orc gentleman is he, him pronouns. Dargo Mudrag. His title is the Hand. And the lithe kind of dancer looking individual, she, they pronouns, their name is Hera Glenray. And their title is the Gut. And you actually notice that despite how thin and like muscular Hera looks, they are constantly nibbling on something. So June Brightflame is Wildfire, Circle of Wildfire. Dargo, the Hand, is Circle of the Shepherd. Hera is Circle of Spores. And Melon Reflection, the Soul, or also known as the Overseer, they, them pronouns, is Circle of the Moon. So it is a rather diverse group of individuals, all observing a different circle of druidry. Skinny with like a bulbous belly. Yeah, kinda.
Who was the spores again?
That is Hera Glenray,
Gotcha.
a wood elf, with the title of the Gut. So the Head, the Heart, the Hand, the Gut, and the Soul.
Cool.
Smeagol looking ass. Definitely not quite as scary as Smeagol.
Unless anyone stops Sin, Sin just sort of like puts their hands out and is like, dear esteemed council, how y'all doing today?
Melon kind of, while they all look rather serious, Melon can't help it. Their mouth kind of quirks up to one side, a little bit of a smirk, because they know full and well who the fuck you are. You are the city troublemaker, but usually in ways that are generally harmless. But the council is well aware of your existence because enough people have complained about your antics that they know you by name and by look. And Melon says, I suppose pleasantries are not beyond the pale here. And they stand and walk down to where you all are standing. The other members of the Caligo Scire do not move from where they are. But Malon is walking down to your level. And stands before you all. I imagine, are you guys like kind of loosely like lined up? Are you bunched together?
I think.
I feel
Say
like
a bunch.
bunched.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Sin and Dayu are kind of at the head of the herd here. So Malon walks directly up to you, Sin, given that you're in the front of this little crowd of the five of you, and says, "It is good to see you here and not pulling pranks elsewhere in Okurai. I trust you are keeping your nose clean since the last time we spoke."
I'm gonna take artistic license and say the last time we spoke, Sin fully did convince a pack of travelers that the druidic temple was an inn. And it was like 40 travelers. It was like a roving band of like merchants. And he fully slipped in with the merchants to try and steal some documents.
Oh no.
And he's just like, "I haven't been near the temple until this summons, sir, as requested." That's a lie, but no one's caught him. Rev particularly knows that that's a lie.
Yeah, Rev knows that's a lie. Yeah, give me a deception check.
Oh, for sure.
Might as well roll about it, why not?
No.
So I'm
Wait,
gonna count this as Sin being utterly shameless, because that's a 3 plus a 6 is a 9. So that he knows that Malin knows that he's lying, but it's part of the game. But no, that's a 9.
Yes, Malon kind of forces a little bit of a smile and says, "You and I both know that is not true. But that is all right. I will let it slide. Because your skills are needed." And they turn and step back up the dais and says, "You have all been summoned for a reason, and we might as well get down to business." Dayu, during this conversation, the extra spirits that you picked up before did not accompany you into the Setesk. They seem to have vanished prior to you entering the building. So it is just you and possibly Maylin, but you do not see her right now.
Do I see any spirits, period?
Nothing in this room.
Interesting.
You don't even see wisps of the spirit world in this room.
Ooh, well, to feel safe, I put one of my hands in one of my satchel pockets. And I'm not gonna say what I'm holding on to right now, but I definitely feel safe.
I know what you're talking about, yes. It's your comfort item. So Malon kind of steps slowly up the dais back to their seat, turns around and sits once again and kind of steeples their fingers as they look at the rest of you. She pulls out a gun, yeah, right.
I'm a healer, but...
I'm a healer, but... God, that fucking anime. Anyway, steeples their fingers and says, we have need of you all. Your various skill sets are appropriate for this series of tasks. And at this point, June stands up on her dais and moves to like where the steps going down are and sits at the top of the steps. She's wearing something similar to like a kimono, but it falls off the shoulders and is very low cut. It's like a regular dress. It's not a robe. But it's kind of cut in that way, and there is like a wide, almost like corset-like belt, like underbust corset. And she has 6 like fluffy kind of fox tails and large fox ears, silver fox. And she just kind of leans a little bit. She's kind of lounging on her dais. She seems a lot more casual than some of the other members of the Caligo Scire, and she says, "Yes, I'm sure you've noticed that the protective barrier over the Veil of Night has been, shall we say, weakening. The mists have been lessened, except for today, of course, which is unusual, but it is what it is." There is a reason for that, and it is something that must be fixed immediately. Who did that? Oh, I know who it was. It was Aki. She... So good. I feel like this is very appropriate for this group. Malmersion. Real life happens, y'all. So June just kind of waits for somebody to acknowledge what she just said.
Sin looks at Rev and is just like, "Did you notice that the veil's fucked up?"
Could you not?
Yeah, you definitely noticed this.
Oh. Walk it back for a second. And it's just gonna be like...
Meaning Rev has definitely noticed this. So.
Oh, okay.
Can you not feel it, you with your magic? I mean, I know you're not a druid, but...
Sin looks directly at Rev, and then looks at everyone else, and looks back at Rev, and it's like, I joked about it one time. I sincerely don't know any magic.
Rev looks sort of pointedly outside, or towards the closed doors of the room. I saw all those torches. You didn't, that is magic, and I know it was you. But isn't going to, explicitly narc right at this exact moment.
Sin gets that Rev and Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but Sin gets that look and is just like, I can explain it, but I will get in so much trouble if I explain it. I'm just like, my mystical powers must not have reached out to the veil, since I am such a poor practitioner compared to the wonderful druidic powers that surround us.
Oh my god.
But speaking of those druidic powers, obviously I'm flattered to be asked to help solve this. It's an understandable choice, but there's no one from your own circles you would send on this mission?
June kind of smirks a little bit at this question and says, "Actually, all of you were handpicked by us. You have each done things for this city that will be useful in the days to come.
So hi. And just I take my hands out of my bag, feeling a just a tad bit more comfortable because I feel like everyone's confusion is mildly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just go, hi. That is really alarming considering the things that I do.
Indeed, June says, and she leans forward and looks directly at you, Dayu, and you know that she is a fox shifter.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're direct opposite.
I don't know what my I do know what my relationship is to foxes, so I pointedly look. I do the trick where you look behind the person.
Mm-hmm.
I do that. But my ears, they're like they bend even more forward. I feel like my ears are a very good dead giveaway of how I'm feeling most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go. So is respectfully like are do you need blessings of the moon, or is everyone gonna die?
We don't know yet, she says. And she looks to Malon at this point and says, "May I?" And Malon kind of rolls their eyes and says, "Yes, you may." And June will stand up and walk down the dais. The other members of the Caligo Scire kind of shift uncomfortably at this because they're like, "Oh God, she's gonna be the one to dole out all the information." Great. But kind of like, unless you're really paying attention to what all of them are doing, you might not pick up on it. If anybody wants to roll a perception or an insight check, you may do so. But she kind of walks down, and you realize she is quite tall. She's probably about 6 feet tall without the ears, and rather curvaceous, and she's just a sexy lady. And all of her tails kind of flare out behind her like freaking what's her head from League of Legends. I don't know names of things.
Ari.
That's
Ari.
it, Ari. Thank you. Like that. I don't play League of Legends. I don't know. I just look at the art.
Well, it's a good thing that you know who the degenerates
I listen
are.
I listen to the music and I look at the art, and that's it.
League music slaps.
It really does slap.
It does.
I only play ARAM, I swear. I have
Wow.
skins though. Can't believe I gave them my money.
Wow, you really outed yourself there.
Yeah, who would do such a thing?
I have to. I feel like it makes sense that
I
I
only
would
play
be. Look at my headset. Look at my headset.
True.
You think all of my skins were from my own money?
Yeah.
No, they were gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I love that. But her tails kind of flare out behind her like a fan. And she says, "I'm going to give you some information that I know none of you have. Hopefully you have good memories, or perhaps you could take notes. An event happened long ago called the Obscuration. I know none of you know this because it is kept quite secret. As you know, we are in the year 1564. That means it has been 1,564 years since the Obscuration. Before that, there was many millennia of lifetimes, but unfortunately, many people were slaughtered during this time. Such is the way when gods decide to walk the earth. Now, I'll spare you all of the story and the details, but the important thing to know is that there were heroes once, 6 of them in fact, who sealed away this god, this mad god. That is why the world is the way it is now. The mountains that surround the Vale were not here before. The Vale was not always here. The night was not always here. But these are things that had to happen in the new world to keep everyone safe. And to give us a place, those of us who live in the darkness. Those of us who share a love of the night. A haven for our people, the Mistlost. Now, why am I telling you this information that you do not learn in school, that is not taught in the outside world, that is kept so very secret? Well, as you know, there are other druidic societies throughout the world. That is no secret. There are many of us, and there are other temples like this one out in the world. Though they are not as easy to traverse or to visit as this one. 6 other such locations, in fact. You must travel to these places. The other 5, I should say. And find out what is causing our protective barrier to wane. You see, our agreements with the other druids is what keeps this place shrouded in night, and without it, our people may die, in fact. Some may be forced to displace themselves elsewhere, but the mist of our lands keep us together. The mist of our lands is the heart of our commerce, even. We need such power to make magical items that other regions need in the world. We need you to make offerings at each of the other temples, or to find out what is interrupting the power from these other temples that keeps us safe. Because if the Accords of Night are broken, then that is very bad news for everyone in this place that you all love. Any questions so far?
Yes. You said that something might be stopping the other temples. Has something been stopping this one?
No, the Setask is quite intact. We have found no such issues with our location. It seems to be coming from outside. You see, all of the temples must have offerings and remain intact and undisturbed or unspoiled in order to maintain our eternal night.
And did you guys have an idea of what you think might be going on? Like, say you were just making a guess. What would your guess be?
It is at this point that Hera puts down the probably like a croissant or something that she was nomming on, just kind of sets it down on the ground next to her and says, we really don't know. It's kind of a mystery. All of the druidic orders are very segmented. We don't keep in regular contact with them. We just operate on trust that they will continue to uphold the Accords, as we always have for these past 1,500 years. So she kind of leans back and picks up the croissant again, takes a big bite out of it. That's why we need you to go check it out for us. call it check-ins. Maybe it's nothing.
And are we going as representatives of the Druids of the Vale, or is this a separate investigation?
Oh, no, you are going as representatives of us, the Caligo Scire.
Rev 100% just sort of like straightens up, puffs up a little bit of that.
Nikita too.
Hi again. Hi.
Who are you saying hi to? Are you saying hi to Hera? Are you saying hi to June? June is standing next to the party, and Hera is kind of leaning forward on her dais, kind of chatting at you all.
I feel like out of respect, it's going to be like a neutral, just hi.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like, yeah, like not like waving or anything, just a hand up, like it's my turn, my turn. I raise my hand, teacher.
Oh.
And
June speaks up and says, "Yes, little rabbit."
And Dayu will continue and go. So where are these temples located? I know you said outside, but like how far outside?
Oh, yes, all over the world, in fact. Obviously, there is the one here in Okurai. There is Deathmorn Ward in Southmoor. There is Mount Ceres in Elysia. And that name perks your interest, Rev, and I'll tell you why in a second. There is Hearthpire in Fouchus. Well, technically off the coast of Fouchus, but it's there. Then there is the temple in the Fracketh Sea. And there is the place of power in the Armorial Wilds. One in each region of the world, outside of the Setesk, of course.
Does it matter which order we get to them?
I should think you may wish to go to Deathmorn Ward first. It is probably the easiest to get to out of the rest of them. Perhaps you will get guidance there.
No. Respectfully, I disagree. I'm from Southmoor, and we are riddled with monsters, and as impressive as we look right now, I can assure you, these people are not ready for Southmoor. Most people aren't ready for Southmoor.
She kind of steps up to you a little bit, and says, "You asked my opinion, little rabbit, and I gave it. Now, Deathmorn Ward is surely the easiest to get to because it is not hidden. You need only go to the Hallowgate Necropolis and ask the leaders there to take you to it. That is all. It is not hidden, it is not difficult to get to, and you would not have been chosen for this did we not think you were capable of handling the dangers of the world. So respectfully, if you would like for this journey to be a little easier on you, I suggest you go there first. If not, you could always go brave the blizzards of Elysia. That's the next closest one. Not sure you're tall enough to get through the snowbanks, though.
Respectfully, I don't know what a blizzard is.
Ah. Would it not be easier to go to lands with which you are familiar first? You could be a guide to your compatriots.
Not Southmoor. Not until I know that they know what lurks there.
Well, I suppose it depends on where you go. But that is no matter. we could discuss it later. For now, know that you are all being called upon, and that is not optional, to complete this job. She smiles at you, and you see that she's got rather large fangs.
My nose twitches. Like the bunnies do, just like, okay.
Aki,
Yes?
do you think Dayu and Sin are close enough friends that it would be welcome for Sin to maybe like step between Dayu and June if Dayu's looking uncomfortable?
I think so. I think our relationship is pretty, like, chill, actually. You'd be like, I commit petty theft crimes. I go, nice. Tell me more.
I will say, Sin, you absolutely can step between them if you want to, but pretty much as soon as, as soon as Dayu looks uncomfortable, she immediately backs off and says, my apologies. I did not mean to make you nervous.
I think if it's still welcome, I think Sin still like reaches out to like just sort of like put like a hand on your arm and just, like do like a little pat. And then I think throughout this whole thing, if anyone was looking at Sin throughout this like uncomfortable time, Sin has been like half hiding behind Nikita and like half like listening. But this face has gone from amused to like the most serious people have seen on Sin for a while, because this is his home, and these druids are pretty much telling him that his home is going to die. The people that he cares about, this place, the only place he's ever known, is like gonna be, destroyed or something. And Sin like finally is just like, how much time do we have?
Do you ask this directly of June, or do you look to anyone else?
I think just directly to June, because she's the one that's right there.
She has stepped back a couple of steps now to give Dayu some space, and she says, if nothing is done, a year tops. And even that is unpredictable.
There are children in the Vale. There are families here.
Now you understand the importance.
But we're the only ones you're telling? If nothing can be done, people need to be prepared.
What we need is for you to go to the first temple and to contact us after you do. Then we will be able to have actual information on what may be causing this. That is my theory. Now, I understand that this is quite a lot to take in. I will give you 3 days to prepare yourselves, get gear, say your goodbyes. But whichever temple you choose, you must get there quickly. And once you have more information for us, we can then inform the people. This is a recent occurrence. At first, we thought it was a fluke. But the energy, and she kind of like swirls her hand through the mist and it forms into like a bubble. She says, it's like there's a hole in the force field, and she pops the bubble, and it's just mist. She just pops it and it dithers out. And she says, sometimes it's weak, sometimes it's strong, it is fluctuating, and it has not done so for this many years. If I had all of the answers, I would give them to you. And we will tell everyone, But first, we need something to tell them other than, doom is upon us. Perhaps it is not so bad. Perhaps it is nothing to worry about. That is why we need... Yes, go. Yes.
I have a follow-up question, which is, if the other temples are hidden and difficult to get to, do you have a map? Are you giving us instructions, or are we supposed to quickly find a hidden location?
She nods and says, well, that is a great question. Given that some of us have never left the Vale, I do not know precisely where all of them are. However, I can tell you their names and mark what I believe they may be near on the maps, but the best place to go for such information, for those that are hidden, is to go to the capitals of said regions. Perhaps you can speak to the leaders there on our behalves. We will give you paperwork and such, scrolls, that you can address to the leaders that you find that will speak with you. If you use our name, use it wisely, and with the right people. Though I do not think you will run into any trouble. For all we know, again, perhaps the barrier just needs refreshing. It's been over 1,500 years. Perhaps something has happened to the other druids. Perhaps they are slacking in their duties. Perhaps somebody knocked over a statue. We don't know. It is not easy to simply go to these other places. They are all equally protected as the Vale is, but in different ways.
I need to go inform some people that I'm leaving. Sin, again, there is no joy in this face. Mm-hmm. There is no delight. There is no funny haha. This is a very sad and scared man right now. Mm-hmm. And I think he even backs up a little bit, bumps into Nikita, and is like, I'm so sorry. Is there anything else?
Not for now. We will prepare the paperwork for you, so return here in 3 days' time, and we will give you all that you need to get started. Get your supplies. If any of you need money to do so, please inform Lady Incineratus, and she's obviously referring to your mother, Aurora, not you, and says, excuse me, Captain Incineratus. She is on duty. And money will be provided for you to get the equipment that you desire, within reason. So go and prepare yourselves, and if you have any questions, you may stop by. The guards are told to expect you.
All right. Well, this sword will continue to protect Okurai, so I will go prepare,
Good.
We should talk amongst ourselves about where to go. If Dayu thinks that Southmore is a bad starting place, then Alicia?
We should get drinks.
The best
Perfect.
decision
To talk
making
over.
does happen over drinks.
I think with this mood, I am not really opposed to that idea.
All right, so all of you exit the Satesk? ? Okay. I think that is a good stopping point. And let's get into confessionals here before we close out for the evening. We're going to start with Rev.
Yeah, no, I mean, Rev is I'm super excited to be chosen on this quest, obviously, as I should have been. A little disappointed by the company, but it'll be fun. Get Sin a little out of their element, get to know these other people a bit more. I'm happy with it.
Perfect. Anything else for Rev? Okay. On to Nikita.
Hi, yeah. I feel like Nikita's really excited, I think, to kind of show her stuff and like prove herself even further, I guess, for Okurai and even to the people around her, because she's seen the big names, and I think she's really excited to also keep using that sword for what it was intended to do, and keep her dad's memory keep going, you know? Yeah.
Okay. Is that it for Nikita?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. On to Sinark.
I am not happy. Literally this morning I was finding ways to lighten, literally, some strange moods, and now this. I've never left home before, so I am scared. But I can't let them know that. That's it.
Okay. On to Aurora.
Okay. Aurora is still hungover, but a little bit excited about what's going on. She's trying not to think too hard about really what it means in terms of like bad things happening to her home. But she's more thinking about how, like, you know, the work that she's doing has been paying off, and now she gets to show some of her skills by leaving and showing her mom that she can. And she's looking forward to doing that again.
Awesome. Is that it for Aurora?
Yes.
Okay. On to Dayu.
Hello. So Dayu's conflicted. It would appear that she's just been conflicted all day. So there is the prospect of getting to travel on the surface outside of night.
Yes.
That really, really excites her. And it's something that, you know, like, that she promised she'd do with her sister anyways. So this is like the perfect opportunity to do it. But then there's the prospect of going back home, and with all of the baggage that she knows that's there, but the rest don't yet. She doesn't know if people are ready for her way of life, because her way of life is very difficult. It's very hard. You know, it's basically right now what she's thinking is, how am I going to help prepare this group if they really want to go to Southmore first? Because that in itself is that is a struggle.
For sure. Absolutely. Anything else for Dayu?
She's eager to do the drinkies and thinkies.
Drinkies and thankies.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to name the
Drinkies
next
and
episode that.
thankies.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for a wonderful first session. I don't think it could have gone more swimmingly than that, so thank you very much for being here at my table. I'm honored by your presence, and thank you, chat, for all the bits and the follows and the raids, and holy shit, y'all, like, oh my god, if I had to shout out like every single one, we never would have gotten any role playing done. So sorry for not shouting those out. I tried to say hello in chat. Usually I'm a lot better about that, but when we are deep in the roleplay, I don't like to interrupt it if I can help it. Obviously different on the Dinglings games because we just squirrel out at every given moment. Yes, so much thirst. So if anybody has a recommendation for rating tonight, otherwise I'm gonna pick somebody at random. Big consensual smooch to everyone. Jesus. So anybody? I mean, I'd hate to not dump all this wonderfulness.
Nat 20 Productions is
Nat 20
pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also got Gut Punch RP. I think they're
Yes, we
doing
did.
Blooded North. I don't know if they're done.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I don't know.
Nat 20 Productions. You see Perception Studio. Is it just at Nat 20 Productions?
Yeah, it should be.
Nat 20
Nat
Productions official.
Nat
Yeah,
20
official. There you go. I was like, there's one more word. You think I'd know it since I'm on there on Mondays usually.
Hopefully this is correct. I hit enter. Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
it's right. Yeah.
Okay, so please join us in this raid. We're gonna go say hello to Nat 20 Productions official. So thank you all so very much. We will see you same time next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.